Hey guys, sorry I screwed up. I went to put in the stream and somehow I wound up with two. So I sent the message out through Discord and then I noticed there were two there. I'm like, how the hell did I do that? So I deleted one. It was the wrong one. So everybody's probably over there waiting now. Ugh. Yeah, that's what's going on. Let me get the link and I'll send it through Discord again. Okay, we're live right now. It says it's Friday. No view streamed 1 minute ago. 6 waiting. What the hell? How do I do this then? Can you guys hear me? Say yes or no, because I'm not seeing anything. Post something, please. Oh man. Let me go in here. Jesus. I guess I'll wait till people come in. Oh man. Hey, now it's live. Now I see myself. Oh my god. Yeah, man, I created a stream earlier and I got back in, I came back to look at it and there were two streams. Hey, what's up, our pal? Yeah, there were two streams and I'm like, how the hell did that happen? So I deleted the one. I deleted the one and it was the wrong one. I'm like, what do I do now? So I'm gonna wait for everybody to come over. Yeah, Jimmy, what happened was I created the stream earlier and I sent the message out to Discord and all that. And then I come back like a couple hours later and I look and there's two of them. I'm like, how the hell did I do that? So I deleted the one which I thought was the newer one, and here, no, it sorts it to the current one up top. So I deleted the wrong one, and I only deleted it on StreamYards though because I'm an idiot with this stuff so far. So the YouTube one was still there, so I'm trying to figure out how to delete it. So I did, and then I deleted that was the wrong one. So I'm like, holy crap! So here I am now. Thanks guys for coming over. I appreciate it. Sorry about the confusion. What's up, ass? Jade, how you doing? Jeremiah, how you doing? Everybody, cool. Jimmy, bro, what's up, man? All right, let me show you this. I'm gonna do a little bit of news, and then we're gonna do the usual free for all. All right, so these are the stories we're gonna go over today. Democrats actually used campaign funds to pay for Biden's legal bills while they're jumping all over Trump, saying he did the same. And get this, we just find out that AG Bill Barr, that piece of crap, he shut down 3 different investigations on voter fraud after the 2020 election. Now, remember when he came out and said, oh, it's all bullshit. Remember that? And he said there was nothing to it. And at the time, I'm like, well, how did you do an investigation at the federal level? Because that's not where people vote. He didn't go into the states. He just said it was bullshit. Someone got to him. And then there's 2 others. And then I got a video I want to show from the RNC. It's pretty good. Oakland thugs, this is a video that's going to come up, stole 90% of the jewelry from a family store, and the family doesn't have insurance because it's getting too expensive because of the thefts. And Axios, this is funny. Axios is trying to push, remember Latinx or Latinx? Remember that? And it got like they really screwed it up, and everybody's like, what the fuck? Well, now they want to go Latin, I guess it is. It's not Latin E, I guess it's Latin. And the replies on that are really hilarious. Let me see. Is Nano here? Oh, yeah. What's up, Nano? How you doing? Our pal, how you doing? Vamps. I saw you earlier, buddy. Yeah. How's everybody doing? All right. So I'm going to go into, which one am I going to do first? Yeah, I'll do this one first. Ready? So Dems use campaign funds to pay for Biden's legal bills while hitting Trump for doing the same. This is Daily Wire. I usually don't like them, but it's a good story. Despite criticizing former President Donald Trump for using campaign donations to help pay his massive legal bills, Democrats also used campaign funds to help President Joe Biden pay lawyers during a special counsel probe into his handling of classified documents, according to Axios. Now, Axios sometimes does a random act of journalism. And you always have to wonder, like, okay, so what's the real story they're trying to cover up or trying to push? You know, but sometimes they get it right. You know who else is really good at that? Politico, believe it or not. Every now and then they will do a story, and it's an accurate story, and it's damning to Democrats and lefties. So you got to wonder, what was that? Was the editor like in the toilet at the time? You know, the outlet reported on Friday that between July 2023 and February 2024, the Democratic National Committee paid over $1.5 million to lawyers or firms that represented Biden during the classified documents probe. Why did they even have to have that? He had the documents. He admitted he had the documents. It was illegal for him to have the documents probe over. It's that simple. You know what it is? They had to do all this confusion because, I mean, everybody, even the double-digit IQ people know that Trump was allowed to have the documents because of the Presidential Records Act and a few other things, a couple of court cases, Egan versus Department of the Navy, and what was it, Judicial Watch versus NARA, the National Archives and Records Administration. Those two said, yeah, president's allowed to have them. He can go through the documents that his team grabs and brings to his house, and he can go through them, keep what's his, and then turn them back in. And Trump was actually doing that, and NARA didn't have a problem until Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer gave them a problem. And they said, yeah, we got to go after these documents because he's taking too long. Meanwhile, Barack Obama, I shit you not, Barack Obama actually still has classified documents in boxes in an abandoned furniture store. For real. And they wrote a letter to NARA telling them that they had the classified. They were mixed with classified and some declassified or unclassified, two different things. And he didn't tell them about the abandoned furniture store, though. But we did a story on that like a year ago. And no one ever knocked his doors down. So every single dime that you give to the Biden-Harris reelection campaign, we spend talking to voters. The campaign finance chair, Rufus Gifford, told MSDNC last weekend, what is Trump doing? We're doing it, but it's okay when we do. What is Trump doing? He might put up some money tonight with his billionaire friends in a closed-door fundraiser in Palm Beach. My God, these people just don't know how to read the room. The Biden campaign actually went to a fundraiser in New York, if you remember, and they were a 10-minute flight away from the New York police officer that lost his life and his wake, right? And so now they're saying he might go with his billionaire friends to a closed-door fundraiser. What the hell was Biden? We understand that, Gifford continued, adding, we are not spending money on legal bills. Yes, you are. We are not hawking gold sneakers or any of that stuff. That money we are raising, we're going straight to vote. Oh, God, these people are nuts. Let me play this.
First of all, on his fundraiser, look, Trump and his orbit has a loose relationship with the truth, to say the least.
Do you hear this?
I look forward to seeing their FEC report when they're forced to file in 9 days or so to make sure that that those numbers are what they are. But this is the ultimate point here. Every single dime that you give to the Biden-Harris reelection campaign, we spend talking to voters. We have, and since the state, in just in the last month or so, we have 100 offices open in the swing states now. We are, of course, engaging, whether it's ad buys, whether it's phone.
Yeah, bullshit. As it turns out, Democrats have also spent a significant amount of money covering the president during his own legal challenges. From July of last year through February 2024, the DNC paid over $1 million to Bob Bauer, PLLC, the professional limited liability company of Biden's top lawyer, Bob Bauer. Is anything like Jack Bauer's brother? Additionally, beginning in July 2023, the DNC increased monthly payments to the Hemingway and Barnes law firm from $15,000 a month to $100,000 a month during special counsel Robert Hur's probe into Biden. That's the one where he couldn't remember shit. He couldn't remember the year his son died. The DNC did not reveal exactly how much it spent on legal fees, but I thought this other a-hole just said that they weren't spending it on legal fees. So they didn't reveal exactly how much it had spent on legal fees for Biden during Hur's investigation, which ultimately resulted in no charges. Wow, imagine that. They said that, remember, don't forget, they said that they're not going to charge Biden because he just has a really bad memory and he wouldn't be good at it. But he's okay to be commander in chief. God damn. Hur found that Biden willfully retained and disclosed classified materials. Should have been full stop right there. Put the cuffs on, impeach him, whatever, but did not suggest bringing any charges because a jury would have had a sympathetic, well-meaning. I don't think a jury would have. I really don't, because these assholes have been going after Trump for those documents, knowing that he had the right to have them. Every president has the right to have them. And it wasn't so long that NARA started complaining, hey, where the hell are they, buddy? The Republican National Committee paid around $1.6 million to cover some of Trump's legal fees in 2021 that stemmed from the civil business fraud case. At the time, the DNC spokeswoman, well, you don't know with that crowd, told the New York Times, if we were the RNC's donors, we would certainly be asking questions. Yeah, you're full of crap. Biden's legal fees pale in comparison to Trump's $100 million. Well, because the commies know how to rack up bills, not including a $175 million bond he recently posted in his New York civil business fraud case, which is all bullshit, all made up. As Trump faces the mounting fees, the Biden campaign has jumped out to an early fundraising lead. But a reported $50 million haul from Trump's Mar-a-Lago fundraiser event last Saturday pushes him closer to the Biden campaign's numbers. Look, we all know they're going to try to steal it again, right? Because, I mean, think about it. Jade and I were talking about this earlier. Think about it. Trump was, if you watch 2,000 Mules, Trump won by landslides in all the key battleground states, right? Especially my state of Pennsylvania, all right? But it turns out that they did what they did, right? I don't know if we're still allowed to talk about it on this platform, but they did what they did, and they said that he lost, right? So now they've got far more at stake to lose, right? Far more at stake. So what do you think they're going to do now, right? How do you think they're going to handle that? Hey, what's up, Uncle Bobby? Hey, chill. What's up, guys? So how do you think they're going to handle 2024, knowing that the minute Trump gets in, he's going to go after them? And I would say retaliation, okay, but he should go after them because they broke the law. I mean, look at all the shit they're doing with this lawfare, the commie lawfare that they're doing against him. And they got the balls to come out and say that, like to use that against him. Well, he's being charged with 91. Yeah, because you commies are full of shit. That's why he's being charged with it. On to the next one. This complete total piece of crap. All right. AG Barr. Okay. Do you remember when he came out and said, this is all bullshit, right? AG Barr shut down investigations into 3 separate incidents following the 2020 election. We all now realize that former AG Barr is just a waste of space. Steve wrote this. But even I did not realize how truly abysmal he is, right? Jeff Clark was serving as acting U.S. Attorney General for the Civil Division of the Department of Justice when he was called to speak with then President Trump over the many accusations of voter fraud in the 2020 election. Clark is now fighting to keep his license to practice the law after he made inquiries into possible fraud. So think about that, guys. It's called the crime of noticing. Okay, so these guys, just because they question it, this is what's going on with every case, like the Fannie Mae case, because Trump had the balls to question the election. Now they're trying to send a message. Hey, you question us, and guess what? This is what's going to happen to you. I mean, this is all bullshit. So during their discussion on Monday, Brianna Morello asked Attorney Clark if he was told to stand down from investigating any of the tips of election fraud. Jeff Clark said, let me just summarize for your viewers that there is either in the public record or in testimony from my trial 3 separate incidents where former Attorney General Barr shut down investigations. One is that Bill McSwain, who was the U.S. Attorney in the Eastern District of Pennsylvania in Philadelphia, right, who was a poll worker, certainly watched various shenanigans through the years and would bring home those stories to me. This is not a topic that I had no prior exposure to. I also applied to clerk for a federal judge, Clarence Newcomer, who had a major election non-integrity case in Philadelphia, which he helped expose and shut down, called the La Nueva Forma, the new way to vote, which involves something like absentee ballots before they were actually illegal, going door to door to collect them. Yeah, Philly is notorious for this stuff. That was a no-no under Pennsylvania law at the time. In any event, back to Bill McSwain. He was the U.S. Attorney in Philadelphia, and he said that he had very important and credible fraud, election fraud information that he wanted to pursue. And so he went to Barr and he asked if he could investigate it. And Barr told him, no, don't investigate it. Bill Barr came out and said, you know, we looked at it and there was just nothing. It was just bullshit. Well, there you go. Here's a guy, a U.S. attorney who worked for Barr, who said, I have election fraud. I want you to look at it. Can I do it? He said, no. And if you find anything or you've already found anything, turn it over to the Attorney General of Pennsylvania. Do you know who the Attorney General of Pennsylvania was? He's now our governor. Okay, or no, that's wrong. That's false. I'm sorry. Was he the Attorney General? Yeah, he was. Yes, I'm sorry. Kathy Boockvar was our Secretary of State. That piece of shit who violated election law. Yeah, it was Josh Shapiro, who's now our governor. He was the Attorney General, and he had hundreds of cases presented to him of election fraud, some with photos. Right? He never took a look at one. Then he came out and said that Pennsylvania's election in 2020 was the most pristine. Right? McSwain said, "Look, I'm a military guy. I saluted even though I disagree with it." Now, later, after he left office, after Biden had been inaugurated as president, I think in June of 2021, if memory serves, he sent a letter to President Trump where he exposed this episode. The other 2 episodes are where Jesse Morgan, and Colonel Schaefer, where Colonel Schaefer, who was in the military intelligence, was ordered to stop his investigation of that incident and other incidents by Bill Barr. What is it with Bill Barr? We did get that testimony in through expert and fact witnesses, Harry Hari. Is that how you say it? Harry. Who would name? He wore both of those hats. Then the third incident is one that Matt Gaetz gave to us because his former law partner, Larry Keefe, was the U.S. attorney in one of the districts in Florida. There had been allegations that Andrew Gillum, who had run for governor, who I have photos of him lying naked on the floor from doing crack and all kinds of other shit, right? Democrat, was engaged in election shenanigans. Larry Keefe wanted to investigate that. Bill Barr shut that down. Do you know what I think happened, guys? I think what happened was the Democrats threatened to impeach Bill Barr. And even though his term was coming to an end because Trump was leaving, possibly, he didn't want that on his record because, remember, he was brought out of retirement, all right? And his sole purpose to come in was to end the friggin' Mueller investigation that they were just going to run all the way up to election day, right? So he came in and did his job, and Trump should have got rid of him. But the guy did have a prestigious record going back. So I guess he kept him around for that reason, not realizing that the guy was an establishment punk who was going to do things against him. What even are photos, bigot? That's funny. All right, so let's get to the next one. Hold on, I just got a text. Let me check. Oh man, guys, don't ever donate to a candidate. I swear to God. The reason why, you will get 30 texts a day asking for money. And then when you type in there stop, you know, when you type stop and they go, you have unsubscribed successfully, it doesn't matter because they make money selling your goddamn phone number to everybody else that wants to grift off you. Yeah, I don't either, man. I didn't trust him beyond what he did. He had a couple good moments, Jeremiah, if you remember. Like he went on, what was it? Was it the morning show on MSNBC where they said, oh, what do you mean that You know, when he said something about the spying that was done on him, and they said, "What are you talking about?" And he goes, "Oh, there was spying. We've already proven that. We just don't know what the level of it was." Remember that? Yeah, they're also hiding something, more than likely. All right, well, here's the next one. All right, here's one. Ready? So Axios is out here pushing. Like, if you guys don't know, Not the Bee, it's by the same guys that do the Babylon Bee, but they're real stories. They're like crazy stories, but they're real stories. And it's a great site if you got like nothing else to do and you want to laugh at some stuff, but it's real. So Axios is out here pushing Latin after Latinx bombed, but the amazing replies are what I needed today. The guy writes, at first, if you don't succeed, try again. What says here, Latin is Axios. Latin, a gender neutral way. Can you believe they're throwing the gender shit? Latin, a gender neutral way to describe or refer to people with Latino origin. He just said Latino, right? Shouldn't he have said Latin origins? Is surging in popularity over terms like Latinx on university campuses, in museums. You know, everybody is like, bullshit. Stop telling us what to call us. That's literally what they're all saying. This is a real post. You know, like they really posted that. So it says Latin is surgeon, mis amigos. If you don't know, Spanish uses, they use gendered case with the O and the A at the end. Like many languages in the world, Old English used to have it until the Vikings came, right? The word Latino can refer to a group of men with Spanish ethnicity, but it can also refer to both men and women. I don't know about that. I know that, well, Latino in the sense of, like a group of people, sure. But Latina is for the women, right? But that's not enough for the woke commies who want to butcher language and patch together newspeak. Latin, they wrote, Latin is part of a movement centered on wanting to build and foster an inclusive community, says Carlos Zavala, isn't it Zavali? Vice president at consulting firm Whiteboard Advisors, Whiteboard, bigot, which has used the term in reports from its work with tech and education groups. 41% of U.S. Latinos you ever see that when people Latinos? I did a video today. It came out, and I had Pac-Man in there, and that jackass, and he was like Juan Marchan. The way he said the name, he's speaking normal, and it was Juan Marchan. I just started laughing. What a jackass! 41% of U.S. Latinos in the latest Axios Ipsos Latino poll. Say that 10 times real fast. In partnership with Noticias Telemundo, say they are comfortable with Latin. Okay. What a bunch of weirdos. Please enjoy the ratio and response. This is great. Ready? Latrine. Filius libertat. I love that. Latrine. Can't wait to get punched in the face for saying this. The white leftist saviors are here to figure out what to call Latino people again. That's great. And she writes this, B. Buckley. She writes, as a Latina, I beg you to stop it. Just stop trying to shove new names down our throats. Do you have any idea the kind of rage this inspires in so many of us? Every time you invent a new word to call us, a whole bunch of Latinos register Republican. Keep it up, Axios, please. On university campuses, in museums, and among researchers and media. In other words, among white liberals. He's exactly right. Jack Spitz, he's exactly right. The white liberals, they're the ones that fuck everything up. I'm going to continue using Latinx because that's what the White House uses. Some of these guys are great. Just right, Brown. Exactly. Leftism. You're Latinx. No, I'm Latino. You're Latin. Shut up, gringo. You gotta love it, man. But Axios was not going to be deterred. They doubled down. The term Latin, which is part of a movement centered on wanting to build and foster an inclusive community. Do you think that the Latino community would put up with this horse shit? Do you really? Is becoming more popular. No, it isn't. Even some like the Latino person, like Hispanic people were sitting around going, God damn, I don't know what to call myself. I mean, think about that. Oh my God. That's as insulting as the Democrats when they say that black people aren't smart enough to know how to get an ID so that they could vote. This is the same thing. They don't know what to call themselves. They're waiting for the white liberals to come by. Here you go. My Latino friends, please sound off en la sesión de comentarios. Hispanics, when you call them a slur. Hispanics, when you call them Latin. Well, that was Latinx. Now it's Latin. Oh, this guy, I forget his name, guys, but he's in a new show It's called Parish. I think it's AMC Plus. It's a pretty good show. You might want to check it out. Yeah, it's called Parish. It's in New Orleans. It's pretty good. Well, that's that. So how many of you guys feel now that you are rewarded with the new Latine? Yeah, Latrinks. Latrinks, exactly. So what's the next one? Let's see. Oh, yeah, the Oakland Thugs. Here we go. Oakland Thugs stole, I wonder if we're allowed to call them thugs still. Oakland Thugs stole 90% of the jewelry from this family store. The family doesn't have theft insurance because it was getting too expensive. Since fast food restaurants are locking up their lobbies or closing altogether. Yeah, you ever go into a McDonald's recently? It's like they got the robots there that like the boards that you hit. They don't have anybody. You want fries with that? You know, it's all up on the board now. And a lot of times they close the store off so that you can only get to that and get to the counter where you can get your food. It's unreal. And it's because people are just robbing them left and right. All right, start over. Since fast food restaurants are locking up their lobbies or closing altogether to avoid robbery in Oakland, I'm honestly surprised there are any jewelry stores left. Yeah. Fwang Jewelry has been in business for over 40 years, though. And the owner wasn't going down without a fight. When 8 robbers hit him on Wednesday, you got to watch this. It says 8 armed suspects ransacked the legacy Oakland Chinatown business, Fwang Jewelry, yesterday at 12:30. The family tells me in less than 1 minute, 85 to 90% of their inventory was taken. Holy shit. Watch as the owner, Diane, she doesn't look Asian. The owner, Diane, runs to the back and gets her 76-year-old husband, who comes storming out. Watch. Look at this. Oh, she doesn't. Okay. Look at this. They don't give a shit. Yeah, yell at them. That'll do it. Oh, he came out with a gun. But you know what? He was too slow. That's because he's 70-something years old. Oh, man, that's terrible. That's crazy, man. You know, they complained that, I think it was Walmart, it was Walgreens, all the walls. Walmart, Walgreens, Nike, and who else pulled out of San Francisco? Thug E or Thug X. Oh, man. Yeah, exactly. Xmas marks the spot. My Latino friend like it when you call them Chico. I like to call him the man. Remember that song, Chico and the Man? For the show? Chico and the Man? Yeah, it's pretty good. What's this say? Latin sounds like a French toilet. Latrine. Oh, ho, ho. I always say the only French I understand is "we surrender." Let me see. Do I have any others? What the hell do I have here? No, I did them all. So let me do this one video. You got to see this. This is a video. Bongino played this today. In fact, I scraped it from him, and it's RNC did it, and it's great. Now the RNC, everybody knows the RNC is a piece of crap, but Lauren Trump actually took it over. So I mean, she got some good people in there. Yeah, it has a kiosk you order stock from. They bring it to you. That's the only way you can do business now in Cali, because there was a proposition vote, and everybody made it so that anything under $950 stolen is a misdemeanor, and you don't go to prison for misdemeanors out there. Jay said even if they are caught, they won't be prosecuted. It's California. Absolutely right. That or New York. Think about it. The West Coast and the East Coast, the two big ass states, lots of electoral votes, right? And they both have laws that do not go after the criminals. They go after like the good guys instead. I mean, that's a bunch of horseshit. Anyway, this video was done. It's a montage of Joe Biden saying that he grew up and was raised in every different type of community you can think of. Hang on, here we go. Here it is.
Raised in the Puerto Rican community. I had a very close relationship with the Greek American community, for real. I am Joe Bidenopoulos. I grew up in a heavily Irish Catholic community in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and a heavily
No, he wasn't.
Italian Polish community. When I say I got raised in the black church, he knows I'm not kidding. The Persian culture is amazing. As a student of the Persian culture, I probably went to shul more than many of you. I come out of the black community. The background of my family is Irish American, not fundamentally unlike the Palestinian people. I, you might say, raised in the synagogues in my state. Everybody in town was either Polish or Italian. I grew up feeling self-conscious. My name didn't end in an SKI. I was raised in a neighborhood where I felt self-conscious. My name didn't end in O. That's kind of how I was raised, like so many Americans of Irish heritage.
In HBCU in your home state, Mr. President.
Let me tell you, forget about it. That's right. That's where I got raised, man. Just like rabbis, synagogues, and Jewish community centers in your hometowns, and that's the tradition I got raised. Hard-working people, the middle class, the neighborhoods I got raised in. I was raised on GM. I was raised by Danny Inouye. I was raised by a righteous Christian. I got raised on automobiles.
Unbelievable, guys. Is that not unbelievable? It's like somebody. Where are you from? Zimbabwe. I was raised by Zimbabwe. That was a great movie, by the way. Let me see. How do I get rid of this thing? Remove from stage. There we go. So movie Idiocracy had it wrong. All businesses will not be Home Depot. It will be Amazon. Yep. When all small business is gone, you're in the state of insanity. All goods will be sold by Amazon. That's part of the plan. Make the billionaire friends that give those donations risk. What did they do during COVID? I think they said they made, what was it, like 21 billion extra dollars during COVID? It might have been something insane like that. Yeah, he was raised on lies. Exactly, Vamps. He was exactly right. Let me see. Their own policies are putting businesses out of business. Yeah, you got to wonder. And like now, it's like they're still lying about inflation. They want you to think, rabbi synagogues, they want you to think that if you have 8% inflation one year and 3% the next year, oh, inflation's down, the prices are down. No, they're not. You have 11% inflation. That's how it's done. It's cumulative. I can never say that word, but that's what it is. It's cumulative. Yeah, I can never say that word. But and the reason why is because all the shit that you manufactured under the 8% is now being sold, and it's 3%, but it's still being sold at the cost of 8%. They can't take that away, right? I see. And now you will go up to a kiosk to order your McD, or better yet, use your phone to order. Yeah. And it will come out of a slot. No more of those jobs, those workers out of work. You know what? More and more, Bobbity, it's getting like Idiocracy. It's like you don't even have to, you know, there's so much crime and so many stupid people screw things up thanks to the lawyers that they're going to come out with all this robo stuff just to do it. This government should be a kiosk. No actual employees, bureaucracy, etc. Yeah, well, you can't have that. You know who said that? Richard Nixon. He told his CIA director that within 3 months he was out of office. The only way to reduce inflation by percentage would be to have a negative interest at the bank. Yeah, well, they would do that too. Negative interest. Don't think they wouldn't. You know, I personally think they did the interest high, and the reason why is because when you have inflation, it knocks the value of the dollar down, right? Well, what else does it knock the value of down? Your debt. And so they wanted to spend a shit ton of money in the beginning. It created inflation. And then what happened is they say, okay, now we're going to pay less in the debt. But we still have the douchebag in chief who is still out there. He's forgiving student loan debt. And, you know, I don't understand. Like he's buying votes, obviously, but why are none of the press, like not even Fox News, why aren't they talking about this and saying, hey guys, he's violating the law, he's violating a Supreme Court ruling, and he's buying votes. I mean, I swear to God. Oh, thank the Lord that we don't get as much government as we pay. Yeah, you're right there. They always say you only get the government you pay for it. No, you get the government that the low IQ people voted for. The only way to reduce inflation, but they had that. What did they call them? A bank out or something instead of a bank in. It was a bank out where it was negative interest. They would take money. They would take money from you instead of like out of your savings or checking account. I remember there was a town attached to Russia, began with an L. Can't remember the name of it, but they did a trial balloon there where anybody who had over $10,000 equivalent in their bank account, they took 50% of it. The bank just took 50% of it. And if you had less than that, they only took 10%. So no matter what, you were getting screwed. Your money was going. You know what I don't understand? Yeah, banks charge you to hold the money. But this is what I don't understand about buying gold. Okay. I understand gold always goes up. It's always been a safe bet and all that. Okay. So they're now throwing commercials out there. Follow me on this. They're throwing commercials out there about buying gold because they're going to do the digital currency, right? And then this will protect you. How the F is that going to protect you? They're not going to let you trade gold for the digital currency. And if the digital currency, unless you do the barter system, which they will make illegal, how? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So how, hey, Linda, how are you, girl? Good to see you. So how like, I always thought, they say, oh, when the world collapses, I'm going to keep gold. Really? For that, I would use bottles of booze. Seriously, I'm not kidding. Bottles of whiskey, vodka, whatever. Because you're going to go down the street and you're going to say, hey, dude, you got any water? And the guy's going to, what do you got? Well, I got gold. The fuck am I going to do with gold? Got any beef? Got any bullets? That's what's going to happen. Yeah, it'll always have a value of any market. But when they go to the digital currency, what can you do with it? I mean, you're holding the gold. Yeah, it's like they want you to believe that it's all going to end. Digital currency is going to go away and you still got that gold, man. That's not what's going to happen. Great. They control the money you have and how you can spend it. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to do. Speaking of trading, are you guys into the meme cryptos at all? I had heard about them and I didn't even know what the hell they were, but then I got into it the other day and I'm laughing my ass off, right? There's one called Tucker Carlson, TOOKERKURLSON. And I bought 300. I'm already beyond 500 now. And this was 2 days ago. I mean, it went up significantly. And the reason why is most of these memes, most of them, they will go down to zero within a few days, right? A week, a month, they're down to zero. But these guys, they got something. They got to be, they do. In fact, you know what? I'm going to show you guys one of the videos. It's really cool. But what they do is they have a guy that's Tucker, which is Tucker, obviously, right? And he's doing an interview with Trump, but he's Donald Trump. That's who he is, right? What's that? There's no internet. There's no currency. Yeah, if there's no internet, there's no currency, right? So what he's doing with the people that run this Tucker Carlson, the crypto, what they're doing is they're finally getting the influencers in to push it because it's funny, right? It's pretty cool. And when you watch the videos, let me get that video. I want to show you. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good. Let me get to my history. I thought I had it linked, but I didn't naturally. So hang on a sec. Tucker. Here it is. Okay, let me get the link. There we go. Copy the link. And let's put that in right here. Oops. Okay. Hold on. Okay, let me put that back. I'm going to bring this up. And what the hell am I doing? Okay, ready? This is great. Okay. And the reason I think it's great is because it's kind of funny, but also they're really pushing this crypto and they're playing up to the characters. All right, ready? Here we go. Give it a listen.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's show. Today, we are joined by the one and only Dolan Tremp. It's an honor to have you, sir, and welcome to the show.
Tucker, my old friend, it's so great to see you, and thank you for inviting me on this wonderful, wonderful show. I know you have the best viewers, and with the best viewers, you need the best guests. Isn't that right?
I couldn't have said it any better myself, Dolan. Now let's get right to it. What has Dolan Tremp been up to these days?
Well, Tucker, I'll tell you, it's been exciting. My project has been smashing all-time highs every day. It's the best project, one of a kind, just like me. Every day I wake up and I think, what can we accomplish today? The answer is always memes and more memes. I am dedicated to bringing the best memes to the crypto space.
Yes, memes are very important. They are a great way of showing character and camaraderie. I noticed your meme game is quite on point as well, so looks like you're still keeping promises.
It does have a
Dag
coin.
memes, Tucker, dag memes. It's what the people want. And who knows memes better than me? Nobody, Tucker, nobody. I listen to the people, and I always give them what they want.
Well, that is based as fuck, Dolan. What other things do you have planned for the people?
We have so many plans, Tucker, so many wonderful plans. First priority is getting sleepy. Joe Biden out of the top spot. It's a matter of time, folks. Think about it. I will be attacking on all angles, interviews, campaign videos, guest appearances, talent shows. I will do whatever it takes to get Tremp as the #1 meme coin on Solana.
The man's convinced me. I'm adding to my bags. Thanks for joining us, Dolan. Until next time.
Thank you for having me, Tucker. And remember, we will make memes great again.
And you know what, guys? They're all like that, right? But if you go on X and just do $Tucker and his crypto will come up, and they got shit ton of memes up there that are like that. They're funny. Now there's Bowden, Joe Bowden, one, and that was up really high because it's a little bit older than the others. But Tucker is, I think it's one that's going to have a very large market cap. I think they're going to go, well, I think they were at like, what were they at? Like, the one was at 54 million. They may get up there very, very high. And the halving is coming real soon. So if you're going to buy now. But like I said, I bought like 2 days. Yeah, it was 2 days ago. I put 300 in. I'm already up over 500, but it goes up, it goes down like anything else, right? But the thing is, let me see what I'm at now. Probably dropped. Oh, look, 644. That's what I'm at now. Unbelievable. Nice. Yeah, so I'm just gonna hold on to it because I think it's gonna rise. I think it's gonna go up. It's one of the ones that isn't gonna crash and burn, but it's all because of their diligence with getting those memes out there and promoting it. Because a lot of these other guys, like anybody can start a crypto, a meme crypto, right? Anybody can do that. But if you don't promote it, if you don't try to get the influencers in to push it, right, you're just going to crash and burn. And it's on Solana, which is a chain that lets the memes on there. So I went through Solflare, which is the wallet. You know, I keep trying to get back on Coinbase, and for some reason they locked my account. And I'm writing to them like, "Why the fuck do you lock my account?" And here it's because I hadn't used them in years. And Coinbase changed. Apparently, they changed the way that you got to do. Like, you had to do another update on your verification crap. And I'm like, "Fuck you!" So I just found another wallet. What's this say? The currency of the new millennium will be lead and brass. Yeah, I think so. That's if Trump loses. I'm telling you guys, if Trump loses, we're going to see the shit hit the fan. Now you see what's going on over in the Middle East now. They got Israel is attacking, or Iran is attacking Israel. Hezbollah is keeping the Iron Dome like pretty busy now, and Iran, they say that it's only a matter of days that they attack them. But the reason why they're doing it, they're saying it's retaliation because Israel attacked them. Yeah. Coinbase, man, they were like one of the first ones out there that I knew of, and they were the first ones that I knew of, and so I joined them, and I put like I don't go high at all. I just put like 500 in on some stuff. I got like with Coinbase though, I lost everything. And then check this out. I had bought Binance US, right? So I bought Binance US and I had like maybe $50 on it. I think I got like 2,000 or 3,000 on it now. just sitting there. Let me go back into it. Let's see, Binance. Yeah, and guys, I suck at this. I'm not good at stocks. I'm not good at this crypto stuff. So when I got something that rises, I stick with it. Yeah, I'm at 2,300 right now on Binance. I'm just going to forget about it. Let's see who we got here. I'll take that out. Stop the screen. That's cool. Let's see. No tag back. I know. See, a lot of people, what happened the reason I brought that up is because what happened today was the Bowden, which was really high, that crypto, and the Dolan trend, and even Tucker, they dropped. They went down. And everybody's like, whoa, what the hell's going on? Because the halving's not for another couple of weeks, maybe. And they said World War III started. So everybody's like panicking. But the rest of them are still down. But Tucker came right back up again. Because I went down to like 300 today. I'm like, what the fuck? I had like 388. And now I'm over 600 again. So that's good. But yeah, so they're saying that World War III is about to start. And they had good old Joe was up there in front of the mics when the press asked him, so what will you say to Iran's leadership about a possible strike on Israel? And he goes, don't. And he turns around and walks away. And they're like, what the fuck? This is what we deal with. Like, don't. That's all he had to say. Don't. Then he comes back, right? He was walking away and somebody said something to him. Hey, what's up, Commander? How you doing, bro? Let me do the invites. It is the free-for-all time. Yeah, you guys come in if you want. I don't know. For the Amish, you mean? Ramadama Ding Dong, or are you talking about Ramadan? Let's see. In 2008, I just ignored my investments. I worked with several guys who became basically day traders. In the end, I did as well as when mine recovered. That's funny. That's funny, man. Hey, guys, thanks for coming, everybody. We got 16 in here now. I think it's a record. They say you got to keep doing these things to get people in. But all right. So I'm going to a Trump rally tomorrow. It's up in Schnecksville, Pennsylvania. The doors open at 3, but it's Trump comes on at 7 at night. And they say that you got to get up there. Hey guys, they say you got to get up there like a lot earlier than the opening, because otherwise it'll get filled real fast and you'll be like a mile away parked, and so I got to work that out. It's about an hour and 20 from where I live, but it's worth it. Yeah, you got to be there by 3, but you really should be there by 1 or 2 because it gets packed real fast. And when it's filled to capacity, they won't let you in. I mean, I got my invite and all that, the pass, but they won't let you in, if it's filled to capacity because they got to watch that. So, and then the parking too.
Get to shake his hand again?
I don't know. I hope so. I doubt it. I'm going to be like 5 million people away from him. Yeah. Yeah. For those that don't know, I was dating a girl whose parents were considered high rollers, and we were in the hell was it? No, Harris. I believe it was Harris. He owned Harris. Yeah. And I was with their family and all that, and we were eating dinner, and he came strolling through the restaurant, and he saw them, and he came over and said hi, and they introduced me, and I shook his hand. I always liked him. He's a big talker and everything. He was like the blue dog billionaire, right? And he really was. And so, I shook his hand and all, and I didn't know I was going to be shaking the hand of a future president.
Yeah.
What's up, Commander?
Oh, busy as all get out, man.
Yeah. What's going on?
Oh,
work?
Everything's breaking. The world is broken, and I'm here to fix it. One car at a time. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, as soon as you fix one piece, the next piece breaks too. So
Yeah.
it's back. It's back. Oh, it's fucking back. Finally got my adapters from Summit Racing though.
Oh yeah.
My carburetor adapter. So instead of the carb sitting forward on the engine, now it's going to sit sideways.
All right.
What I need for a straight six. So make everything happy. Hi, Linda. Always love seeing you here, dear.
Yeah, that was all Greek to me, Commander. That was all Greek to me. I know how to drive a car, but
wait,
that's
wait
about
till
it.
Wait till you hear this thing.
I didn't know this. I didn't know this was a car show.
Yeah. But
when I'm here, it is.
I used to tell, yeah, that's fine. I used to tell people, and I had to make toast, but I don't know how to fix a toaster. So
Yeah. Yeah, and AOC is like, bread goes into the toaster and toast comes out, but what happens to the bread?
yeah. Well, she did that one time. Like, did you see that thing she did where they finally told her stop it? The Democrats told her stop it because she did a video where she never had a garbage disposal, and she was freaking out about it. Like if I never heard of a garbage disposal and somebody told me, yeah, you put the food down there, you turn this switch and it eats it up, I'd be like, hey, that's pretty cool. Like, what else you got? But she's did like a 45-minute video on that about the craziness of a garbage disposal. Like, she never had one and she just thought it was crazy. Nuts, man. Nuts. What's going on, Jade?
That was like when somebody said, oh, I just had a Brazilian. And she's like, a Brazilian? How many is that?
Yeah. Well, my favorite meme is when she was sitting in the Subway restaurant. She goes, I've been sitting here for 2 hours, still no train. And what did she say? So I don't know how to spell Armageddon. It's not the end of the world.
Well, you've said it before, Rich. If she was any dumber, you'd have to sit her in the sun and water her 2-3 times a week.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Yeah, she's a dope.
And those fucking teeth of hers, I swear she could eat corn on the cob through a picket fence.
Yeah, I know. Crazy, huh? But they like her because she's a vote, and like she's a vote for the Democrats. That's all they care about. And she's so she's like Stuttering John. Okay, she's so stupid. She doesn't realize that when the people behind her say, you got to say this, you got to say that, right? She doesn't realize that she shouldn't say it. She doesn't understand that what she's saying makes her look really dumb, but she gets the point out. She gets the message across, but no one else wants to do that. They're like, give it to her. She'll say whatever you want her to. But she's a moron.
Yeah, she's just basically being used. Do you think she'll ever figure that out?
I think she already has. I think she already has, and she doesn't care at this point.
Yeah, the moment she doesn't want to be a complete puppet,
right?
Then there'll be a bloodletting.
Yeah, probably.
They'll cut her loose faster than you can say her name.
Yeah. Let me see, what else do we have? People 14. Let me go back to. Let me see this. Let's see what's up here. Any new news? Japan, Philippines. Yeah, did you hear? That was another one. You had Biden had the leaders of the Philippines and Japan, prime minister and the president, right? And he had a meeting with them, and it was called a trifecta meeting. It was widely hailed, and everybody knew about it. The press was all there, so the press was downstairs in a lobby, and while the prime minister, the president, and dipshit were upstairs in a room where they started the meeting, and the press was literally locked out. They did, and they're making it look like they actually went to the length to make it look like, oh, oops, I guess we screwed up. We didn't know that you guys were down here. Yeah, okay, so you're in the room with these three leaders, right, world leaders, and you don't know that the press isn't there. And the speculation is because they were talking about China. They wanted stuff
China.
done. Yeah, China. Yeah, they were talking
I
about
love
what
the
they were
way
going
he
to do
says
about
that.
China, and they didn't want the spies or the media to get that out there. So so he has a trifecta meeting, and there's no media. They have no idea what they talked about. I just thought that was funny. Whoops, sorry.
I swear all these people are snorting Portland cement, like, their
Yeah,
brain turned to a big fucking rock.
they're
Like,
snorting something, man.
yeah.
It's mind control.
Oh,
Oh,
wow,
of
yeah.
course. Yeah.
Mind control. What was it we were on to last week, or was it early this week, with the virus, the big C that we can't talk about,
Yeah,
and the vaccine, and it affecting people's brains,
yeah,
and
yeah.
actually
It affects your brain.
potentially making them more suggestible, or
Yep.
just less likely to,
Argue. Less
argue.
likely to care enough to want to argue against
Yeah.
the government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
no, that's totally freaking scary.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's
that
scary.
is like so over the top.
Well,
Yeah, I think George Orwell just got the year wrong. It wasn't 1984. It was 2024,
well, Dr. McCullough, Peter McCullough, he's
Yeah.
famous. He's the heart guy. He did a lot on COVID, right? And he was another one that was banned, just like the other one.
He invented the mRNA.
No, that was
Malone.
Malone. Yeah, Dr. Robert
Robert
Malone.
Malone.
He did.
Robert Malone.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
he did. But McCullough was right up there with him as far as being a pioneer in fighting back against the lies from Fauci about COVID and the vaccines. And McCullough just came out and made a statement. I think it was swine flu. Yeah, I think he said something about like they did gain of function on swine flu and it's coming. And he's warning everybody. Let me look that up. Yeah.
Well, in
Who's
the
the
meantime,
cool English doctor? I can never remember his name. He's pretty famous now. He's always telling the truth, but sort of in his own way. The old guy, old English fella.
A doctor, medical doctor.
Yeah. Fuck is his name? Fuck. Oh, fuck.
Let me see. Swine flu. Where is it?
I follow the guy all the time too.
oh, you'll think of it.
Yeah. Nah. You know what? I
Yeah.
saw it earlier today
Tell
on
me.
Breitbart.
But Robert Malone is basically the inventor of the mRNA technology, of course.
Yeah, he pioneered
And well,
the idea.
when Pfizer brought it out, he actually came out and said that, yeah, they'd been working on it for like a decade.
Yep.
And there were one or a couple of problems that were huge problems with the vaccine. And so
Right.
he's going there and, he's doing the palm to the forehead thing, thinking, no, they must have overcome these problems. And it turns out he looked into it a little further. I saw an interview with him. He looked into it a little further. They had not overcome those problems.
Right.
Jimmy.
Well, they didn't. Hey, Jimmy from Philly in the house. Yeah, David.
What's up?
David. His show started, and Steve and I are going to start like next week, I believe, because he contacted us. He told us that we're still on, so that's good. But his show's on.
Who's waiting for him now?
What? I don't know. I think what he's doing is he's doing his own thing. Or see, I thought when we didn't hear from him. Okay, he was known. He was a very busy guy when he was an influencer, and he was known to not get back to you for like 3 or 4 days. Like he just wouldn't, because he just had so much going on. He couldn't have time to go through his text. I told him hire an assistant, and then he did. But what you call it? So you got to hire an assistant to do your text, right? You get that big. But from what I understand, I thought that Newsmax had to assign their own writers because of the union, right? They have a writers guild, the writers union on it, and I thought they had to assign them. And then what he was doing with us is we were going to write stories on a website that he's creating, and then I would summarize them for him. And he would do them on the air. Like we do like 5 stories a day we would send him, and then he would coalesce them into his script at night.
What's up,
Dr.
Jade?
John Campbell, that was the guy's name, the English fella, John Campbell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hello, Jade.
How are you?
What's up, Commander?
How you doing, brother?
All right.
Did you work today?
Nah, it rained.
Oh, shitty.
Working tomorrow.
Good. I work today, and I'm still working, but I'm taking a moment because I'd rather take a couple moments here and sit on a live stream with my brothers here and and my new friend Jade. I know we don't know each other well, but we will, I'm sure.
Well, I'm finding that's kind of fun hanging out with Rich here. Kind of amusing.
Oh yeah, no, Rich is great. Jimmy's great too. Yeah, I love these guys. No homo, but I love these guys.
Checks in the mail, Commander.
Yeah. What's the biggest
Yeah,
lies in the
I
world?
roll in your mouth.
The checks in the mail. I promise I won't come in your mouth.
Yeah, all right, guys. Clean it up. There's a lady on the damn screen, for God's sake. And she's a doctor, so show a little respect.
It's okay.
You're a doctor?
Yeah, she's a medical doctor, yeah.
Oh, wow. Very good.
So, yeah, I have a personal story about the COVID vaccine. By the way, has everybody had their 16th booster?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Never been
because
vaccinated.
as being in the medical profession and not knowing then what I knew now, I was kind of pushed into being one of the early adopters. And there was a lot of stuff you couldn't do. People were being fired from hospitals, blah, blah, blah. That wasn't specifically my concern, but, being that I've worked in the medical field all my life like this as a physician, I had a little bit of faith that, okay, these guys are, going to give the people a fair shake. So I got the first 2 shots.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
What'd you get? Pfizer?
Moderna. The Moderna, which from what I've heard, may be more benign than the Pfizer. Anyway, the first one, felt pretty, my immune system felt like it got kicked in the crotch for a couple of days.
Yeah.
The second one, oh my God.
Really?
Got that, woke up at 3 a.m, shaking chills. And it was bad. It was bad. And I said, they called me. Oh, it's time for your booster. And at that time, there were a few things, already starting to come out. And I basically said, thanks, but no thanks. I don't think we're doing that again.
Yeah.
Because the bottom line is, it's a virus. It's kind of like a cold on steroids.
Yeah.
You'll get it and you'll get over it. Unfortunately, with viruses, some people don't do so well. I mean, people die of influenza every year.
Right.
HIV is a virus, smallpox is a virus. But for the most part, you'll get COVID, you'll get over it. Here's the thing. What they weren't telling anybody that is, I think, more and more clear now, your chances of a poor outcome from the disease is better than the chances of a poor outcome from the vaccine.
Right.
And I started to see these stories where they were talking about, long COVID and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And they're listing these symptoms, and I'm looking down and say, pass me that paper. I believe I saw these as side effects from the vaccine.
Right.
People are all there, oh, if I only would have gotten my 5th booster, I wouldn't have gotten COVID.
Yeah, yeah.
What was funny was the VAERS system. And that's not accurate. It's a conservative number because a lot of doctors and hospitals and healthcare workers, they don't report it.
Well, you know why? You know why?
Well, yeah.
Because they made it. I saw something about that. The nurses that were responsible for that, they maybe put half of them in because it took them a half an hour to put each one in. So they made it so clumsy that they're just not getting these reports.
Well, see, I used to follow that, and I would get in arguments with the leftists, and they'd say, you don't have any evidence of that. And I go, well, yeah, the VAERS system. I don't listen to the VAERS system. I listen to CDC. And I say, you moron, the VAERS system is a part of the CDC.
Yeah, well, we'll keep an eye out closer, but yeah.
What, you got company there, Commander?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on it.
Convid con.
Sleep stabbing.
Right?
Yeah, well, Jade, you know that when they tried to put the mRNA into the human body, the immune system fought it. So they discovered which immunoreceptor it was that was killing it, and they put something in the medicine to kill that immunoreceptor. So now, according to the Lancet and the Food and Chemical something, the two big journals, they both did separate studies, and the Food and Chemical Toxicology journal, they did a study on their own, and they brought in this Japanese doctor who did his own study as well, and they all concluded the same thing, that the people that got the mRNA and had that extra drug in there or whatever it was that killed that immunoreceptor, they are now susceptible to all the illnesses that immunoreceptor. You got like 10 or 12, I don't know, but that you could get infections very easily. There's people that have cancers that were in remission. It brought them out of remission.
Cancer.
I mean, whoa, that is like major lawsuit. And I don't give a damn about bailiff laws. You signed, the form, the waiver.
There's a federal law that you can't sue these people.
Well, yeah, but you know what? I mean, we have to change that, don't we? Because
here's what happened. You know what they always say? They always say, follow the money. Okay.
Right.
So first of all, billions of dollars are given to Pfizer and the like to, yes, Vamps, I do agree.
I do too.
Billions of dollars are given to Pfizer and the like to develop an emergency vaccine. Okay. Then they come out with a law that you have to take the vaccine or you can't basically do anything.
Right.
Then they come out with another law that says, oh, and by the way, you can't sue them for side effects.
Right.
Who's paying who here? Does it take Fellini to figure this out?
I think if they went to court, and see, they're terrified to go to court though, because the government will come down on you. Well, I think if they went to court and said, you know what, they made people sign for the EUA, they made them sign a waiver, but now we have evidence, because they do, that they knew there were problems with it. So they made you sign a waiver, and they wanted the government to buy all those doses to give out to the clinics and the hospitals and all that, right? So we paid for it. I didn't get it. There's no way in hell I was getting it. And I had people arguing with me.
Listen, if I knew then what I knew now, no way. And Linda, thank you. Linda said, she's sorry I got, caught up in this. Thank you, Linda. I did get caught up in it. It wasn't really I'm going to understand what I mean by this. It wasn't really my choice. As a medical professional, I just was expected to step up to the plate.
Yeah.
And I did so with...
You thought it was a vaccine. You didn't know what it was.
With misplaced trust.
Right.
You know, and
everybody.
And yeah, and then they started coming out with the boosters, and I'm thinking, you got to be kidding. There is no way. And the more I found out about COVID, the more I found out about the vaccine. Sorry. And the best one, one of the latest, although it's not a few months ago, I read this, they came out with one that is self-replicating when it goes into your body. So it does its own thing and takes over your body.
It's a little machine.
Yeah, like nanobots. Or what's that? What's that? Is it The Living Dead or something? What's that show?
The Walking Dead?
The Walking Dead?
Walking Dead?
I don't watch TV. No, it's about the humans that have this fungus that gets in just like the cordyceps fungus in ants turns them into like little
zombies.
Robots, is it not The Walking Dead? There's something, but there's a TV show where humans got a kind of a thing like that and kind of turned into, I guess, zombie things. I don't watch TV, so I've never seen it. But
The Last of Us?
That's it. I think that's it. And but there is a phenomenon out there where this fungus takes over the brain and body of ants. And then if you extend that or combine that with the globalist trend to try and get us to eat insects.
Yeah.
Okay, and right now this cordyceps fungus cannot affect a human. It's not transmissible to human, but what happens if it gets exposed to humans and mutates?
Yep. Or gain of function is done on it.
And so, but the big bottom line on COVID and a lot of other this stuff and the mRNA vaccines is the bottom line truly is we just don't have a fucking clue.
Right.
We just really don't.
Right.
And I'm sorry, there's no other way to say it.
Now, I know what the mRNA did was, and I'm going to put this in layman's terms because I'm not by any stretch knowledgeable in medicine. I just parrot what I heard. And I listened to all these McCullough and the other guys. I listened to them all. And they said what the mRNA did was it created this little machine in your body that would kick out protein spikes. And that so that your immune system would kick in and say, hey, I understand what that spike is. I'm not going to do the defense because it's not the virus that kills you. It's your body fighting it off that gives you all the discomfort. And so what they said was that it was that this is what Malone had done. He tweeted out in the early days. He said, it appears that the mRNA is not working correctly the way we thought it would. I think we should go back to the drawing board and start treating people with therapeutics. Wow, they booted his ass out of there and then off Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. They booted him everywhere.
Yeah, because
he had the answer.
Because ivermectin is cheap.
Yes. Yes, that's what I used when I caught Delta. When I caught the Delta variant, I thought I was dying. After my second dose, every symptom was gone.
Yeah, there's many diseases out there of which the inflammatory system, if not most diseases, the immune system is key, not in just fighting it off, but like when you get a cold and you get muscle aches, that's not the virus, that's your immune system
fighting it. Right.
It's inflammation.
Right.
And that's why in many conditions we will
ivermectin works because it takes down the inflammation.
We will give anti-inflammatory drugs to calm down your immune system. Now you have to be a little bit careful because you don't want to shut down the immune system. That's got its own host of problems. Right. But there are many conditions in which, the cure is worse than the disease. Your body overreacts. The worst of these are called autoimmune diseases, where your body just starts attacking itself. And but that's also why we take things like ibuprofen when we have a cold and we feel better, because it takes down the inflammation. Now, we are talking, minor drugs here as opposed to high-powered drugs. But yeah, take some ibuprofen, and but yeah, you don't know how many calls I got to come and get a booster.
Really?
Oh, they were crawling up.
Crazy.
They were crawling up my.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they no. Oh, it's time for your booster. It's time for you to screw off. You know.
Yeah.
But I
We're
know
not really allowed to talk about this yet. We can talk about what we've been talking about. We can't get into certain theories or they'll shut us down. I remember when, in the beginning, when on Facebook there was a video. It was a summit that all these doctors from around the world got together and got online like this, and they were talking about how the success they had treating their patients with ivermectin, and Facebook shut them down, saying it was all misinformation and disinformation. These are practicing medical doctors that were using it as a treatment for COVID, and they were having wild success with it. The Aussies were the first ones that I read that were using it for it. And I read it said after the second dose, you're fine. And I thought, whoa, I want to get me some of that. So I bought a lot of it. And before they shut it down. But yeah, they shut that summit down, saying that medical doctors licensed who were prescribing a real drug off label, for the treatment, and that it worked. And they some of them, they tried to take their license away from them, and they got to the pharmacies. The press never reported that. But when you have pharmacies around the country that are refusing to fill a prescription of ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine, they got to them. Oh, I don't have to do that. We're not doing that. That's horse dewormer. Well, yeah, but you know what? The patent is actually for humans.
Yeah, the first use was in, I think, 1985 in humans.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do have to say
malaria.
I do have to say something. Everybody pay attention. I am a physician, but this is in no way medical advice. I'm merely giving you my experience.
Your opinion.
My personal opinion in some cases. While I am a doctor, I am not your doctor.
Right.
Check with your physician. I have to say that's
right. It's a legal thing.
Everybody for listening, and also for anybody from YouTube who happens to be listening, I am not dispensing medical advice in no way, shape, or form.
Right. Can't do that. I remember my doctor, she asked in the beginning, me, did you get your shot? And I said, no. She goes, why? And I said, how much time do you have? And so I told her everything that I had researched. And she just looked at me and she goes, really? And I went, yeah. And I said, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go to the portal when I get home, and I'm going to give you links to all the articles that I've read, like the medical articles that I've read. And I sent it, and I never heard from her. Right. So 6 months later, I had a follow-up on the physical, right? Because I was diagnosed with NASH. And so every 6 months I had to get blood work done. Right. And I know you don't get rid of it, but I don't have it anymore because of the carnivore diet. I went on the carnivore diet, and my blood work is perfect now, the last 2 times that I've had it done. But when I went in for that follow-up and to get her to fill out for the blood work, she stopped in the middle of it, and she said, I read everything you sent me, and then I went on and educated myself with further stuff. He said, had I known this stuff then, I never would have gotten it myself. And I've told my 2 children, do not get this vax. And she says, but working for this company, she said, for the practice, she said, I have to advise patients to get it. I was like, well, I understand that. You want to eat, you want to feed your kids, sure.
You get fired.
Do that.
You get fired. Me, I work for myself.
Good. That's how it should be.
But yeah. So
thanks, Maps.
What it comes down to is fuck YouTube.
Another nation heard from. Yeah, I got mine from India. That's where I got mine from. India. Now they have ivermectin.com. You could just go there and buy it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, ivermectin.com.
Is it expensive?
Yeah, but save your life. What's it worth to you? Because Jimmy, when I had Delta, I thought I was dying. What happened to me, Jade? I had I was diagnosed with flu, and because they all, back then it was like, oh, take a COVID test, right? And I came negative with COVID, but for a flu test, I was positive, which is weird because we later found out that the COVID tests could not tell the difference between flu and COVID, and that's why you had so many positives, right? And it wasn't; it was flu, right? I remember reading that, and they finally Rochelle Walensky actually came out and made the announcement, and everybody's like, "What? Right? You lied to us?" So, what's it called? Where the hell was I going with this? So I wanted to buy it, and I couldn't find it anywhere because they were blocking everybody. And we found it was Zivert Kit. I think it's Ziverto.kit. I think or Ziverto Kit. You just look that up, and you can buy it from them. And they used to say, if you get a phone call from customs or the post office and they ask you what's in the package, just say it's jewelry. That you bought jewelry, because they'll shake it and they'll hear things. What is it? Oh, it's beads, stuff like that, because our government was trying to stop you. Think about this. We had effective therapeutics and our government was trying to stop us from using it, saying the only thing you can use is the jab. And then we recently found out, you started talking about it earlier, Jade, we started finding out that the jab, that it had things in it that allowed the protein spikes to get into the hippocampus, and that was causing inflammation on the nerve endings, if you will. I'm not a doctor. The nerve endings that were affecting your memory. Think about that. Gain of fun, because protein spikes, God and nature said they're not going to get into your brain, right? But the gain of function that the Chinese did on the COVID-19, it did. And then they said, the report said that when they were making the vaccine, they could have put something in there that would stop that. But they did the exact opposite. They put the same stuff in there to get it into your brain. I forget what BS reason they gave, but I mean, whoa, and they say that if untreated, it could go to Alzheimer's. So what they were doing is they were putting the stuff in there, and what it does is it makes you less reactive. You won't get upset when things happen to you. You'll just accept it. Idiocracy. Restricted access list. Yeah. What was the thing? I heard something the other day about. They with the bug thing you were talking about. They want you to eat bugs. Well, I think the Democrats just tried to vote down. There was a bill that said that if you put bugs, you manufacture food and you put insects into the food, that you have to label it. And the Democrats were like, no, why should they have to do that? Can you imagine? And I remember it was Missouri, I think, was the first state that said, look, if you're putting mRNA into your beef, you have to label that for when it goes on the store. You got to label it. And I think it was one other state, maybe Tennessee, that did it too. But think about that. Why are you putting mRNA into cattle? What's the point? What's up, Damien? How you doing? Good to see you. Hark on this fair Friday, dear companions. I bid thee a joyous greeting. Are you lit? Behold, it doth gladden mine. Are you at a Renaissance fair or something, bro? That's pretty funny. That's good stuff.
Would it really hurt us to talk like that again?
Yeah, really.
But yeah, follow the money. They don't make money on ivermectin.
That's right. And what kills me is Merck was the ones that invented it. And when the patent ran out, they tried to get it shut down. So Merck actually went to India and bought a couple of facilities that were manufacturing it. They bought them for a price that they couldn't turn down, and then they shut them down. Now, what is because there's more money in what they came out with later. Some people were thinking they were going to come out with a new medicine and that it would be ivermectin with sugar. Something like that, you know?
Well, no, they did come out. It's called Pfizer-mectin, but that was okay to buy.
Pfizer-mectin.
I believe they called it. Thank you.
Yeah, it's her drum kit, guys.
There it is.
Yeah, it's nice.
The whole thing.
Yep. Nice.
Yeah, I believe it was called Pfizer-mectin. At one point, they came out with the Pfizer-approved ivermectin. Like, what?
That's crazy.
You know,
Yeah,
what
that's
are
crazy.
we? How stupid do they really think we are?
Really? Yeah, guys, hit the like button. It helps, please. Thank you.
Yeah, everybody hit the like button. I noticed, let's see, there's 17 in here.
Are there really? I think that's a record, guys.
And I only see 13 likes. There's 5 slackers out there. There's 5 slackers out there. There's 17 watching and 13 likes. Come on.
Lou, that 07 is a salute. That's what it is. I had to learn that. I was like, what in the world? All these UKers are like doing this thing, and here at the salute.
What is it? The 07?
When you do a lowercase O and then the number 7, it's a salute.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Except it would be with the wrong hand. It would be with the left hand.
Yeah. Well, it is the left hand if they're facing you, but I'm opposite.
If you're standing
this is my right side.
Okay.
This is my right side, right? So I did it opposite to show.
Yeah, if you're behind them, yeah, I was thinking of it. But yeah, everybody, take a chance. Oh, now we're going. Now we're up to 16 likes.
Nice.
16
Thank
likes.
you, people.
Nice.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Nice.
Commander's like, how long was I asleep for, guys?
No.
So I guess what I have to do next is get a sound guy in here, put up a bunch of cameras and microphones, and start putting out some vids.
Okay. Cool.
Do some covers or something.
Yeah, you should
talk to Special K on acid. He does really good work too.
Special K on acid.
Yeah, that's his name. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's from Vancouver, Canada, British Columbia. He's a really good guy. You'd like him. Like if you haven't seen him, you'd love the guy. He does.
Commander, do you know Jade is originally from Canada?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago, but yeah, I'm originally from Montreal.
Oh, my condolences.
But yeah, that's appropriate.
Nice.
That's appropriate. And
nice, baby.
And you've got that asshole Trudeau up there.
Oh fuck! Hey, don't get me started, eh?
Well, here's the thing. He just carried on his old man's legacy. I don't know if you realize that.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? I'm sure Fidel would be very disappointed in his son. You know.
Well, you know, you just never can tell, right? But Pierre Elliott Trudeau was the original flower child, if you ask me.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he and his wife, and I mean, they were partying with the Rolling Stones, is what I'm told. And
oh yeah, no, that broad would screw anybody in the music industry. Like,
well,
Margaret would, she was banging everybody. Like, But you know what? She said once in an interview, she said she thought that Fidel Castro was the sexiest man she'd ever laid eyes on.
Yeah, I've never seen anything that seems like proof that they were that intimate, but I believe the story came up because she was in and around. And it could have happened, and if it did, I believe it. But
they look like
what I was
spitting images of each other. Like there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And we know Margaret slept around a lot, but Justin doesn't look like Mick Jagger, or he doesn't look like any of the other rock stars.
Classified. Do you want me to play?
Sure looks like Fidel.
Do you want me to play a video of Special K?
Yeah.
Do you have any song in particular you wanted to hear?
Anything from him is good. He does really good stuff.
Yeah, hang on, let me see. All right, I'll put one up. There we go. It's a drum cover, he said. Here we go.
I'm trying to forget our time inside the bubble, the hours that we spent. But love, you made me feel like no other.
I got to pause because I don't want to get in trouble.
I was going to say, you're going to get a copyright strike.
Yeah, even though he put up on his own, he put up on the video the fair use. So I'm just holding off.
Yeah, and I'm sure he'd have no problem.
Oh, he wouldn't.
Fair use,
yeah, but Jimmy often points out that even Tom McDonald says all the time, "I'll let anybody use any of my songs for any reason. Please don't give them strike." And they still will give you a strike.
Just credit me for my music, and yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's see this one. Yeah, you see he puts that disclaimer up, which is smart. I have it in every single description. Not that one.
But then some people get away with little songs.
Is that him?
Yeah, that's Special K.
I never saw him. Cool.
And he's doing a lot of digital drums now too, which sounds good.
So that's Special K right there?
Yeah.
Show me how you care. Tell me how you love before. Show me.
All right, gotta pause it, or I'll get the yeet. I should check to see if I got.
Yeah, no, he's got some long flowing silver locks. Like he's.
Yeah, I don't want to chance it. I might get shut down for a minute. So, yeah, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, you're only going to end up having to go back and edit it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Richie, they won't shut you down over playing his music.
Yeah.
Yeah, Richie, I've done a million variations of this. They're not going to do that.
Okay.
And the worst that would happen is they would shut you down for 2 minutes.
Yeah, I know. They already did.
Here.
So,
not get a copyright.
If you do it repeatedly, though, you do get a strike.
Yeah, how does it
But
work?
the point is, Richie, I have a lot of experience experimenting with music. They're not going to give you a strike for playing special case music from a YouTube channel. They're
Right.
not.
Because he's doing a cover tune. So
Well,
Yeah, how does it work then? You've got
shut me down for playing a music song that was on YouTube. So
yeah, but there's hundreds of people out there doing there's thousands of people doing guitar covers, drum covers, bass
yeah, but
covers.
the problem is this. YouTube allows this. They have people who have absolutely nothing to do with the music company, nothing whatsoever. And they will try to file a copyright claim so that they can get money for it, give most of the money to the copyright holder, and they keep the fee. They
Yeah, but
do this all.
How do the people get away with it that are their channel is dedicated to doing covers? They do the whole song.
because the DMCA system is flawed.
Right. Right.
It's like I could put a DMCA strike on this right now.
Here's the thing.
You know,
there's a girl.
I won't, but like,
I'm terrible with names, but there's a girl out there that does her own original music, but she also does a lot of cover songs. And here she became really popular. And when she finally got monetized, she realized she got next to nothing because they demonetized every song she did. They didn't shut her down or give her a strike, but they demonetized every song she did that was a cover. She had no idea that they would do that. She didn't know because they tell you, but it's in the little tiny print that you can't see. Yeah, copyright.
Wouldn't that be copyright power there, Bobbity?
Copy wiped power.
See, and one of the things they generally do is what they'll tell you is basically you're not going to get any ad revenue from this. Well, you're not getting ad revenue anyway.
Right.
Well, it's a nothing thing.
No. That's not my situation. I'm not making music. I'm saying this girl, literally her channel.
Yeah, I understand that.
She records music.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and so they didn't give it to her. But a lot of her videos that were very popular was her version of a cover tune, right? And so that would piss me off too. Yeah, follow the money.
Yeah,
Jimmy
you
from
got it,
Philly.
Lou.
Copyright.
You got it, Lou.
There you go.
It's just an extension cord. It's 4 inches above the ground. You can jump over it. Come on.
You're breaking
Come on,
up, man.
weasels.
Big
You're
time.
breaking up.
Me?
Yeah, you're breaking up.
I need a new mic.
Copyright laws.
You know what? Just listen to that little bit. You know, I'm now I'm a fan.
Copyright laws for music are a little odd anyway, because if you want to play a song and you play live, you just like if you go up and stand with your band and play it live, you can do any song you want.
Right.
Even if you're being paid for the gig.
Right.
But if you want to record it and put it out, you have to get permission from whoever owns the music. But you know who made use of this is Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was very polite. Anytime he wanted to do a parody, he always called the people, and
cool.
A few of them said no, and came out years later and said, "We regret saying no." But
yeah, because he became big.
Because anytime Weird Al does a parody of your song,
it goes up.
Oh, you've made it. You've made it now, man.
Your sales go up too.
Your sales go up. So
who's that? Who's the guy that did White and Riding Dirty and Weird Al's White and Nerdy? Like, and they were trying to sue him for that, and he's like, "You leave him alone, man. Like, he's just making me more popular."
See, one of the things that YouTube does is, which I think is wrong, the band puts out an album, somebody downloads it to YouTube, YouTube allows it, then when they play live, you're paying $600 a ticket.
Yep.
Yeah, but if you play
Why does YouTube allow that?
I got another one for you. About 20 minutes after the music is released in the United States, there's 100,000 copies of the CD printed in China.
Yeah.
Well, nobody uses CDs anymore.
Right. But well, she's
Yeah.
talking about copyright law that China used to get away with that. Microsoft had China in the world court for over a decade because what they would do is they like a Chinese company, all companies in China are tied to their government. It's the way it is. But they would buy one copy of Microsoft Office and all 500 PCs around the company would get that copy. And then when Microsoft started doing the key, and you could only do the key one time when the internet came out, right? They would break that. They would go in and do a jailbreak, if you will, and they would make it to everybody. So they don't believe in copyright law over there.
No, there are no copyright laws in China. But
Yeah,
if
well,
if you
their
release
court
a CD,
system is very screwed up too.
yeah, if you release
Yeah.
a CD,
And
like a half an hour later, they're printing hundreds of thousands of copies in China and sending them all over the world.
Yeah, it's crazy.
and back in the day, like I'm a mechanic by trade, so back in the day, you would get counterfeit parts everywhere from China.
Yeah,
It was bad. Like the boxes looked really close.
I
Like
gotta go.
yeah.
You got to go.
You gotta go.
Yes.
What are you taking off?
Yeah, I gotta go.
All right, brother.
Okay.
See you, man.
Have a good
Be
night,
good.
Jimmy. See you, brother. Yeah, so like in China back in the day, like 20, 30 years ago, they would be making counterfeit auto parts and they were kind of crap, but they were setting up all these factories. And the reason they were doing so was because the big corporations, the big three like General Motors, Chrysler, and Ford, they were letting this slide because they knew that then once those factories were up and running, they could just get their parts made there dirt cheap and sent back over here as original parts, original equipment manufacturer. It was bad. Like it was bad back in the day.
Yep.
So it's no different. It applies to all genres of everything.
Well, weren't they harvesting body parts too
Yeah,
from prisoners? Like they were harvesting body parts from prisoners,
yeah,
and they were selling them on the black market.
yeah.
So not even prisoners; it's the Uyghurs.
Well, the Uyghur, they're prisoners, aren't they?
Prisoners too. But
The
what they would-
Muslims, yeah. But they were prisoners too. They were anybody that was like a dissident that was like in prison for life. They would harvest their organs.
Yeah, while they were
Yeah.
still alive, by the way.
Yeah. They're brutal. Well, their technique when they do an execution, when it's by firing squad, well, it's one bullet. Well, they'll do the execution, and then they send a bill to the family to pay for the bullet.
Oh, I haven't heard for that. I haven't
Yeah,
heard.
they really do that because it sends a message. They want people to know you're even going to pay for your loved one's execution.
So they may or may not get paid for the bullet, but they want to know that you're getting the bill.
Yeah. It's like a double screw you. We're watching you.
Sounds like. So I guess in Russia, and I've never been to Russia. I have no ties to Russia, but
Right.
I guess when they decide that you're a dissident, they walk you down a long hall, and there's two guards, and there's one guard beside you and one guard behind you. And at some point in that hall, the guard behind you draws his pistol, puts one in your brainstem.
Right.
And that's what I'm told. Never been to Russia, not planning to go. Don't care for it. Don't like the cold either.
I'd go to Russia. I got no problem with Russia.
Говорите по-русски? I guess not. Okay. I just asked, do you speak Russian? In Russian. And they would say, Говорите по-английски. Do you speak English? I only learned it because we had Russian programmers, and I wanted to know what they were talking about, if they were talking about us. And they were.
Blap. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna I'm gonna have to start being like HB and get myself some Adidas track pants, and
Yeah, he's like into the track pants, the track
and learn
suit, isn't he?
learn the Slav squat, and
Yeah, I'm like, wow, why did I know? I'm not gonna say anything, but when he wears those, I'm like, wow, and he says it out loud too. He goes, "Oh, I really love tracksuits," and he does.
He does. He's got so many tracksuits. Have you seen
I
him
know.
live? Like when he's doing his live things, like actual live, like
Yeah.
he's standing there, he's wearing his tracksuits. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, Uncle Bobbity, he put up a comment about. Can you see his comment there? At least it's more honest than spending. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Amen, bro. I tried to explain to a liberal Bernie bro that we have political prisoners in this country now, and what did she think of that? And that even that doesn't get to people at times.
Yeah.
Was really amusing talking to this lady. The one thing that actually did seem the one thing that did seem to get to her a little bit, I said, you do realize that Trump is the only president in modern history that didn't start a war.
Right.
And she went, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Well, that's good. No.
But I'm still going to vote for Biden.
Oh, yeah. I have. No, she was a real Bernie bro. She was on that train. But
yeah,
anyway.
That's BWHORE. You learn all the curse words first. At least I did. You have Yab Tavoyu Mat. I said that one time out loud, and all the Russians were working. They went, whoa! Like they turn around. I'm like, what did I say? Because I didn't know. It means MF.
You got to learn the good word. You got to learn the good words first.
Well, yeah, I had to learn the good ones first, and then there was Svolich. You say at the Svolich. It means either bastard or look what the cat drug in, something like that.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
but I learned all that just because I wanted to know what they were saying, and after a while, when they knew that I could pick up certain words and whatnot, when I walked into the room, they'd stop talking. They were all good guys, though. Every one of them. Yeah, they were good guys.
Baba Yaga.
Yeah.
For a minute. Okay.
What? He was a Bernie supporter? Oh, get off my street. Yeah. If I have $1 and you have $20, then I have $21. That's Bernie. That's where he gets the $21. Remember when he said, what's the average donation? $21. That's where he got it from.
Yeah, now they got an ad with Biden and Bernie.
Yeah.
Really just coming down on anybody who's made anything of themselves. Oh, the rich got to pay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Rich, I'm going to move along. I got stuff to do.
Oh, okay, cool.
I've got stuff to do. So good evening, everybody.
All right. Have a good night.
Have a great evening.
Everybody have a good evening and a great weekend. I'll probably join you for a bit next week.
Cool.
I find it a lot of fun, very amusing.
Good. Yeah, we like having you.
Everybody remember your likes.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Remember your likes.
Yeah.
Share and subscribe. Share and subscribe.
Take care, Jade.
Thanks.
Keep getting all the goodbyes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, everybody. Yeah. Adios to everybody. Have a good one.
See ya. Take care.
I'm out,
Have a good one.
I'm out of here.
Bye. Oh, jeez. The Republican. Who was that, Lou? The Republican died, so you voted for the Dem. Wow. You never told me that story. Oh, man. Let me see if I can find some other funny shit. Remember, Tucker Carlson. Bye. Let me see what it's up to now. Oh, Christ. I just saw 2,300. I thought that was my other. Oh, wow. 605. I put 300 in 2 days ago. I'm up to 605 now. Nice. It'll go down, it'll go up, but it seems to plateau and stays there and then goes up and down, plateaus. That's pretty good. Oh, Rizzo. Oh, okay. Yeah, I would have voted for Rizzo. He was a Dem. I would have voted for him. Yeah, he saved my father's life when my dad was a kid. You guys ever hear of Frank Rizzo?
Yeah.
Yeah, famous mayor, Philadelphia. Yeah. Yeah. Here's the thing. Okay, Bass, are you talking about the bill that they voted down that would force the FBI to get a warrant for when on a FISA warrant if an American was involved, like in communications? Yeah, Frank Rizzo, I know. But what that's about, I call bullshit on that, because think about this. When you get a FISA warrant, okay, and you have the right to, the FISA warrant's not supposed to be used against Americans, okay? Everybody knows that. It's not supposed to. It was always for to go after terrorists, okay? And what's called, they say that, wow, somebody just put up a bill, probably a Republican, put up a bill saying, well, we got to have a warrant if you're going to, start listening in on conversations when Americans are there. And then people shut it down. They got all pissed off. Well, what happened was, the way I see this, that's why we have unmasking requests. Okay, like the way the law works here is, if and they don't. There's a thing called Echelon that Clinton was involved in, Bill, and it's over in England, believe it or not. And it's a large database system, and what it does is it records every text message, every phone call, everything. It just records it, right? And so, hang on. Yeah, so what happens is, if the law says that if you what you do is you want to listen in, they don't like listen into your phone call. They have the tapes, and they say, all right, so I got to listen into this phone call that happened with the Russian ambassador, whatever, right? And then they're listening, and they identify that there's an American in there. Well, they're supposed to stop listening right away. They're supposed to. You're not allowed to listen to Americans. But if you think that American is doing something, forget about it. If you think that American is doing something illegal with that foreigner on the phone call or whatever, right? Then you could ask for, it's called an unmasking request. And you do a write-up, say, this is why I need to listen to this American and all that, right? Well, Barack Obama, the piece of shit that he was, he increased the number of departments that could do the unmasking, right? And they hired people to just write up the requests left and right. They did more unmasking on the Trump campaign than anything, right? And so the reason why I call bullshit on the argument over this bill being shot down is because if the FISA people still have to get a warrant to do FISA, but the way they're wording it is, oh, now the FBI can spy on America. No.
Hey.
So what it means is they're not going to have a warrant to be able to listen in on an American, but they can't anyway because of the masking problem. They still now our FBI is rogue. They're no longer the greatest, they're no longer a law enforcement agency. If you never remember anything I tell you, the FBI is no longer a law enforcement agency. They're an intelligence agency. And the reason why they're an intelligence agency is because when you're a law enforcement agency, you have limitations put on you. Like when you have a case, okay, you put up a case and you say, I think Joey Bag of Donuts over there robbed the bank. And I want to get involved.
Bag of donuts.
Yeah,
That's
that's
hilarious.
Montino's buddy, right? So Joey Bag of Donuts over there, somebody told me that he robbed that bank. So I want to go and do an investigation, yada, yada, right? So it's lawfare. So what happens is you got so much time, according to the law, that you can spend on that, and then you got to give it up. So if you can't find something in a certain amount of days, months, whatever it is, you can't pursue it anymore. There's limitations on it. Plus, there's that pesky thing known as the Bill of Rights, right? Like there's certain things you have to get a warrant in order to learn certain things about the people you're investigating. But when you are an intelligence organization, you can do whatever the hell you want because you're just getting intelligence, right? What do you need, to hold back on? Like, why should you have limitations on all you're doing is you're getting intelligence, right? So they gather all their intelligence, which they can make up, which they do all the time. And people to tell you they don't know what they're talking about. They make it up all the time. And then they turn around and go, okay, so now we got all this that we either made up or we found out by doing intelligence work. So now we're going to get another agent in there, and he's going to create a law enforcement case, and we're going to give him, all the intelligence that we had, and that's how he's going to know where to go and how to arrest these people. And they're usually political targets. That's usually what they are. So when they say, they're going to be able to spy on Americans, well, they can't already, but they do anyway, right? Like think about this, guys. When they went to do that FISA warrant for the against Trump, they used the dossier, right? Or dossier for my liberal friends. They used the they used the dossier without they like literally McCabe, Andy McCabe, who was the deputy FBI director under Comey. He literally came out and said one time under testimony in Congress, he said, look, without the dossier, there was no case. He said, no FISA warrant without the dossier. So everybody that was there was a meeting that was held by Bruce Orr, who was the deputy attorney general at the time. Okay. And he was under Loretta James, I think her name was. Loretta. Oh, I forget her last name. Anyway, she was after Holder. I believe she was in there at that time, or it was Eric Holder. Who the hell knows? So what happened is Bruce Orr got them all together. He got Comey, McCabe. He got the two wuff the fuff. It was Peter Strzok and his lover, not his wife, Lisa Page. Everybody that was working on this angle, he got them in a room and he said, look, he said, and Andy Weissman, that slimeball lawyer, who was overturned, Loretta Lynch. Yeah. Who was, thank you, Bobbity, who was, he was overridden by the Supreme Court 9-0, right? Because he's just a piece of shit, but somehow he still has, respect. So he got them all in a room, and Bruce Orr said to him, he goes, look, guys, you cannot use this dossier because it's garbage. There's nothing to it. And I don't want you using it. Don't use it for a FISA because it's going to bite you in the ass in the end, right? And so somebody finally rose it. How do you know it's garbage? He goes, because my wife was hired to write it. Seriously. Nellie Orr was his wife, and she was hired by Fusion GPS to take the garbage information that former British spy Trump hater Christopher Steele paid Russian FSB agents to give him dirt on Trump. And they just threw anything they could find out there, and none of it was real. It was garbage. And so they knew that, right? They went ahead and lied to the FISA court anyway, right? And I remember listening to talk radio, and people were saying back then, they were saying, "Oh, those FISA judges, man, they're going to be pissed. They're going to be pissed off when they find out they lied." No, they weren't. They were in on it. Come on. Do you know who appoints the FISA judges? It's the Chief Justice of the United States. So it was Roberts that did it. So he put them on there, right? He didn't like Trump because he remember that time he yelled not in his face, but he yelled at Trump when Trump said, well, the guy's he's a Obama judge. And he came out and said, there's no Obama judges and there's no, Trump judges. Well, yeah, there are, you dumbass. Of course there are. That's why that they're political. That's why you rarely ever get a president who nominates someone from the other party. You're not going to do that, right? But let me see. They had a Fox Network deal. Really? Mr. Ed. Yeah. You ever see her? Woo. Yeah, she's not a handsome woman. Yeah. He's not a handsome guy either, But here, Nellie Orr, her specialty, she's a researcher and whatnot. Her specialty was Russia. So they hired her. What happened? Here's how it went. Hillary Clinton and the DNC, and they say money from Barack Obama's PACs, that they all went to a law firm called Perkins Coie. And Perkins Coie was a law firm that did election stuff, right? And for the Democrats. And so Perkins Coie goes and takes some of that money and hires Glenn Simpson's firm, Fusion GPS, right? Glenn Simpson was a guy who used to work at the Wall Street Journal, and he created Wilbur. Yeah, and he created his opposition research company, Fusion GPS. So Fusion GPS then took that money, a lot of it, and hired Christopher Steele. And Christopher Steele took the money that they gave him that he could use for it, and he hired the Russian FSB agents. So it was all a bunch of horse shit. But yet we still had that psychopathic lunatic Hillary Clinton after the election go around and on every stage where people would listen to her and say, you can do everything the right way, you can have the best campaign, and still you could have it stolen from you, meaning that the Russians stole the election from her, even though she's the one who created the whole Russian collusion nonsense, and she funded the dossier. Again, dossier for my liberal friends. Yeah, but guys, you have no fucking clue. The like a lot of people don't know, like all the bullshit that went on behind the scenes with that stuff, Mr. Ed.
I have some ideas of what went on behind the scenes.
Oh, dude,
like,
it was
just
because
I pay attention, right?
Yeah, it was so
Not too many
incestuous.
people did. I mean,
Yeah, it's nauseating to find out what they did. The
no
shit
one knew
that they
who
got
I
away with.
was till I put the mask on.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm saying, like the problem with the FBI has to be disbanded, and they got to start over, right? And yeah, they should have. You're right, Vamps. He says the FBI should have arrested Hillary for questioning the election. I mean, by their own standards, right? They say they're, these Republicans, these MAGA extremists, they're election deniers. No, they understand what an election is. They're not today. There's no such thing as an election, you flat earth bigot. They're not saying that. They're just saying you guys fucking cheated. I mean, come on.
I like that flat Earth eclipse meme on your Discord. That was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that was my buddy Roger.
Whole line across.
Roger sent it to me, and I literally, guys, I'm going to plead ignorance on this one. Roger sent that to me. He was in here last week, and I told him we were streaming tonight. He was supposed to come, but check it out. He sent that to me, and I'm like,
it was pretty
I know
funny.
I'm supposed to be laughing, but I don't get it. And then he had to literally explain it to me. Well, the flat earthers, so it would be flat, so the sun and the moon would all. And I'm like, oh, still not funny. Yeah, yeah. That's how that happened. Oh, that's that funny.
So you're definitely related to Jimmy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she deleted 33,000.
I'm just kidding, brother.
Now check it out, man. Oh, I know. Now check it out. Lou's right. He said 33,000 emails. Poof. Now remember, right? She deleted 33,000 emails that were subpoenaed, and she said, "Well, I decided which ones were business and which ones were to my daughter about her wedding." It's like, no, you didn't have the right to do that. You didn't have. They were all subpoenaed. Well, I didn't think they had a right to them. It doesn't matter what the fuck you think.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ, and they let her get away with that shit. But here's the thing. So Trump, during one of the debates, if you remember, he says a joke. He goes, well, you deleted 33,000 emails. And she didn't say anything. And he turns and he goes, Russia, if you're listening, could you please send us the 33,000 emails? And the press had a field day with that. Oh, Trump is colluding with Russia. He asked them for the 33,000 emails. It's like they were more upset over a joke by Trump than by the actual crime that she committed.
Oh, I know.
mean, oh my God.
I mean, it's just as bad here in Canada.
Yeah.
Like it's just as bad, dude. Like our fucking deputy prime minister, fucking Chrystia Freeland, is Ukrainian, and she went to Russia. She was a journalist activist, and she did a lot of fucking shit in Russia, and like she's not allowed there. If she goes there, she's like arrested immediately, because she's a cunt. But like,
Yeah.
fucking just like unbelievable, man. Like, and what these people do and get away with is unacceptable. Like,
Right. Well, you know what, Bobby? You're talking about the documents coming from the SCIF, right? It's what is it? Self-contained. What does it stand for? Self-contained information facility. Okay. It's that it's just a little room with documents that are classified that you can go in there if you get permission. You can go in there and see them. You can't take them out, right? You can't take pictures, can't do any of that shit. Well, they say that's what happened. But do you remember there was a guy, what the hell was his name? Blauer. Oh, what the fuck was his name? There was a guy, Sandy Berger. We called him Sandy Burglar, but his name was Sandy Berger. Okay. And he had worked, he was probably an operative for the Bill Clinton campaign, right? And so he was still floating around. He had, like, when you leave government office, you don't lose your credentials right away until somebody says, "Oh, he shouldn't have top secret clearance anymore," right? You still have it, unless you're Trump. But what happened is, I remember when the 9/11 Commission came, right, and they were trying to gather information to create their report as to how this could have happened, right? And so a lot of people in talk radio were talking about, well, Bill Clinton did many things to not stop terrorists because he didn't want to bring like any light on him being terrible at stopping terrorists. Now, what am I talking about? The Oklahoma City bombing. You guys remember that? Remember that? When what was the guy's name? Somebody help me. I'm terrible with names. But Terry McNichols, I think it was.
Uncle Ted.
Yeah, well, Terry Nichols or Terry McNichols, I think his name was, and the other one, there were two guys. Anyway, so Clinton, I remember listening to his what the hell was her name? She was, I'm going back 20 years now, 25. She was Clinton's attorney general. I used to call her Lurch, or she was like Milton the Monster. Remember? I'm Milton, your brand new son. Remember that cartoon? She looked like Milton the Monster, right? Well, anyway, so she no, yeah, Terry Cloth. No, she came out and she came out after the Oklahoma City bombing.
Monica Lewinsky's dress, which was a wad of bills.
Yeah, sensitive, compartmentalized information. Yeah, see, I got the word facility right. Anyway, well, information and facility. But anyway, so it turns out I never remember anything like that kind of stuff. But I remember stories. I don't remember the name of something. But let's go. Anyway, so she came out after the bombing, and because what happened was that day of the bombing, it was the day that they gave out contracts. The feds gave out contracts to the contractors, the guys doing construction work and all that. And so a lot of the illegal Hispanics would stand outside the building and jump into their pickup trucks so they could go work, right? So this one illegal Hispanic guy was walking towards the federal building at the time, and the explosion happened. He was like, holy shit, right? Holy free holies, right? So he goes running down when the rubble's there, and it was a Colombian woman. She was a doctor. She was in the white outfit because they had medical facility there, and she's tending to people. And he went up and he didn't speak English, so he spoke to her in Spanish, hoping that she would understand. He was saying, I have something to tell people that I saw, but I'm afraid that I'll get deported. And she was so busy, she just turned to him and said in Spanish, go fuck off, Like she said, well, there's some people over there, talk to them. And so he did, and he went over and he found an FBI agent. He said, and he had a translator, and he basically said, look, I was walking down the street, and I saw these two Arab guys running like hell into a brown pickup truck. They got in the car and they tore ass down the street, and then boom, right? So you would think, oh, okay, it's something to look into, right? And so they put out a all points bulletin, APB, for a brown pickup truck with these two Arab looking guys, right? And so about an hour later, she's doing a press conference, and she's saying, I can neither confirm nor deny that there was an APB out for a brown pickup truck with two Arab looking individuals. And I remember that the press, to their credit, was like, are you out of your mind? You guys put the APB out. That's why we're here at this press conference. And then you pulled it. Years later, somebody from the Clinton administration leaked it, that Bill Clinton did not want to be known as the president where foreign terrorists attacked us. And so he shut down that investigation. And so they found their other guy, which is the Terry McNichols, I think his name was, and I forget the third guy or the second guy's name. But so the FBI back then, right? They covered it up big time, and there was I think it was a U.S. attorney or someone working in the Clinton DOJ, and he's the one that said whitewash it all, get rid of the APB. We're just go out and lie to them, right? Do you know who that guy was? It was Merrick Garland, who's now our attorney general, the communist.
Yeah.
Merrick fucking Garland. He's the guy that threw the case on the federal building. Yep.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like, it's just like the Pentagon, like, oh, well, we're missing $2.7 trillion. Next day, fucking boom.
Yeah.
Oh, everything was destroyed because, like, that's where that plane, air quotes, hit. Like, come on. Like, people are fucking stupid if they believe any of that shit. It's the same here. Like, fucking, oh yeah, all these this green energy, all that crap. It's just bad.
Yeah.
Like, it's not good. But
well,
you know what? We do have a guy here. I'd like you to start following him, Rich. Edison Motors.
Right.
Look him up. Chase Barber. Really cool guy. He's a logger from BC, from Merritt, and he's finally built the first hybrid electric. He's built the first semi truck in BC in over 30 years, and it's a hybrid electric truck. So it runs a diesel motor that runs a generator that charges the batteries, and it's electric motors that run it, and it's really cool tech.
Nice.
Like, now that I'm cool with, like, full electric is stupid.
Okay, so you're a mechanic, right?
Yeah.
You would be considered a master mechanic, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So what did you think of the Tucker wagon?
The Tucker wagon?
You never heard of it?
No.
Oh, dude, you're going to want to watch the movie.
Well, I know Tucker. I know who Tucker is.
There was a guy, his name was Tucker, and he wanted to create a car that wouldn't fall apart when the actuarialist told them to build it to fall apart.
Yeah, I know who Tucker is. Like,
the Tucker. Well, not Tucker Carlson. I mean, there's a guy named Tucker.
I know who Tucker is. Like, not Tucker Carlson. Yes, I know who Tucker
I'm sorry.
is.
I thought you were saying I know who. I thought you were being funny.
No,
the man in his dream.
Well, I'm being funny, but
well, he created, like, I think maybe 100 of them, and there were like 98 of them that are still running. And he had like he had a single headlight on the car. There was one headlight, and it was up front on top.
Yeah, like a Studebaker, and it would turn like
with the steering wheel,
and it would turn in the direction that you were
with
turning
the steering wheel. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it would turn with the steering wheel.
No,
but
Tucker
the thing
was
ran,
amazing.
and he hired
but the big three, like GM, Chrysler, and Ford, fucking screwed him over.
Oh yeah. Oh, they tried to kill him, right? So the big three shut him down. So what they tried to do is, the the way he finally did it was, I remember in Conshohocken, there was a guy that sold them on his lot, but he said that because he was a repair shop and he wanted to get those cars, right? And they approached him and they said, yeah, they said, but there's a thing here. If you want to work on Tucker wagons, you have to sell them. And they're like, what? And they're like, yeah. And they gave him a great deal too, right? But in the end, they screwed him. But they say that car was like way ahead of its time from
Boy,
back
it
then.
was.
But he hired airplane designers because he wanted to create the car so that it would be aerodynamic and help with the engine speed.
Fucking
Yeah.
Bobbity. 3D print your car, bigot.
Hey, Bobby, if I'm ever in California and you're doing stand-up, let me know where. Seriously, man. If you're not a stand-up comedian, you're wasting your spare time, brother.
I know. Fuck, Bobbity is one of the funniest guys on the fucking internet that I've ever fucking met. Like, just a great guy.
Yeah.
He must have grown up with a lot of sisters just to be that funny.
Yeah. There's an exercise in wasting time. Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
Yeah.
I feel for
Are you
brother.
planning on escaping anytime soon? I'm feeling very conflicted at the moment. Oldest son is going to buy a Tesla. Okay. So pride in his achievement is tainted by concern for his reasoning. We disagree on a lot of things since COVID and the trans. Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. I prefer standard versus automatic. Linda, so I understand.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
Oh, different story.
There you go. Yeah, I have this the same. I don't know why, but I have to go into I work from home, but I have to go into the office every Tuesday and Wednesday, right? And on every Wednesday coming home, the same guy in a Tesla. Now, talking about the trans movement, Lou. COVID and trans movement, so they disagree on it. But think of Vinny when he was young. But that's an inside joke, guys. But yeah. Wait a minute. Family complicates simple thing. Yeah, it does. Always. Always. Yeah, there were like 9 years I didn't talk to Jimmy. 9 years.
Wow.
And one day we went somewhere. And I was coming home. It was at night, tired, had a great day, and the phone rings. I'm looking at it, it's a number I don't know, so I just put it on speaker. I go, hello, and I hear a little bit of music in the background. I hear, you fucking asshole. He's all stone drunk. I'm like, who the hell? And I'm like, Jimmy? He's like, yeah. And I'm like, oh shit. And I was like, what are you doing? Then he hangs up. So then he starts texting me. He's like, yeah, I dialed a wrong number. And I'm like, how do you even have my number? This is not your old number. So you must have transferred or something. I hadn't spoken to him in 9 years. And it was that alcoholic stint that caused us to start talking and hanging out again. For reals. Oh man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
that's
the
good
biggest
that you and Jimmy are, connected again. Like that's
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I know it's good for you, and I know it's really good for Jimmy too, so.
Well, yeah, he had no family.
Well, he did, but he just didn't want it at the time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy's a good guy. I found you from Jimmy, so
Yeah. Yeah, and pretty much everybody here is from Jimmy.
Yeah.
Think about it, man.
I
All
know.
you guys, except for Lou. Lou and I go way back.
Oh yeah, very good.
Yeah, he was a bass player in bands that I played in.
Cool.
Yeah. He was here. He was on. I don't know if you were here that week. You might have been with your family. But he was on that week.
Yeah, Bob, Jim is a good egg. He's a good guy.
Yeah, Jimmy's a great guy when he's sleeping.
He looked great at midnight with the sunglasses on, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. What's that?
No, I love Jimmy. He's a good guy.
Yeah. Well, Jimmy was a bit of a lunatic when he was younger, but
No,
he would start fights. But I'll say this about him, okay? And I'll say it to his face. I have many times. Jimmy would never bullshit you when something was serious. He'd never lie to you. He would never throw you under the bus. Me, I was like, oh, he was in it too, thinking it half, we got caught by my father doing something. I'd be like, he did it too. It was his idea, because I thought I wouldn't get as much of a beating, right? If he had to divide it into two, the energy, it's math, right? But Jimmy would never do that. He'd take the full rap and let you walk, and I always admired that.
That's actually what I like about Jimmy is that he's that type of guy.
Yeah, he would not.
He's just a genuine human being.
Yeah, he gets angry a little too easily at times because do you ever notice he yells at me when he's doing a stream and I'm in the chat and he'll ask a question and I'll give an answer. And then he doesn't look at it for 10 minutes and he comes back, Richie, what the fuck are you talking about? And I'm like, oh Christ, I don't even want to go back to it. That's not true, and I'm like, all right, go back and watch it.
Stop living in the past, Jimmy.
Yeah, well, Jimmy's the type that yeah, he's the type that if he knows he's right about something, he'll never give it up. And that's gotten him in trouble in the past too. He's lost jobs because of that. He had a couple jobs where he was making really good money, and people that were at the job were not doing things the right way, and it affected his work, and he couldn't take that. He couldn't stand it, and he complained so much they got rid of him. That's bad, but that's what they did because Jimmy has this code that is okay. So we all play by the same rules, right? Well, if you don't play by the same rules and you make out better than I do, well, I've got a problem with that. And I'll let him tell the story. I think he told it several times, but I'll let him tell the story. But he's to a fault. He will continue to complain until people turn on him. But that's him. Now, in some ways, that's a good thing because it means he always sticks to the same story, so he's not bullshitting you.
Yeah.
Telling the truth is so much simpler than lying because you always got to remember your lies, right?
Yeah, lying's no good for anybody. It hurts your soul and it fucks your life up, and you got to lie more, and then you what are you doing? What are you really doing with your life?
David Vamp Road, he said, I seen some fool talking politics on YouTube, and I was like, who the hell is this guy? Then it turns out I agree with most of what he said. Then he follows up with, that's how I found Jimmy. That's funny.
That's hilarious.
That is why I like Jimmy. When cheating happens, I hate it. I hate the cheater. Me too, man. Because we're all supposed to be playing by the same rules. Yeah, guys, that's what pisses me off about what's going on with the DC crowd now, the DOJ. I mean, they don't live under the same rules. We don't. And you know what? I heard this before, and I'll say it. Even dogs know when something's not fair. You get two dogs and you feed them every night. Well, you give the one dog food and you don't give it to the other one. He's going to look at you and go, whoa, what happened to me? Because even dogs know something's unfair. So they want you to believe that when they tell you, that Donald Trump broke the law when he had classified documents locked in a storage closet with an FBI lock on it and his own lock with Secret Service around the building all the time and private security. But Joe Biden, he had no problem with it as a vice president and documents everywhere under God's kingdom, right? They think that you're supposed to agree with.
Yeah, 1960 Corvette convertible, fucking classified documents included. It's in the garage. Let's go.
Spanish Chicken is back, guys. Remember him from last week?
Who's that?
Spanish Chicken.
Oh,
Remember?
yes, I remember. Hi,
Yeah.
buddy. How's it going?
We should get him in here. Copy that. You can come in if you want. Yeah, I've seen that before. It's true.
Yeah, Vamps, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, crazy. Crazy times we live in, man.
Unfortunately, Rich, the fucking inmates are in charge of the asylum these days.
That is true.
It's fucking crazy. Like,
that is true, man. And you know, it's all it's the children of the 60s hippies. Right?
Yeah. Oh, totally.
The hippies were the Clinton era, right?
Mhm.
All the hippies, hey, wow, man, get high, all that bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Then they got into politics, like they were like, screw the man. Then they became the man, right? And then they had kids who went to all the liberal colleges. Yeah,
Look at Rage Against the Machine. It's like, oh no, you got to wear your mask now. At our concerts, like, fuck you. You know.
I like their music, but
it used to be like,
they did
fuck
something.
you, I won't do what you tell me. Now it's like, fuck you, you'll do what I tell you. Like, come on. Like, just terrible. Just terrible how things have changed. I can't even listen to some bands because of, like, their now political views, which they were completely against in before, and now they're all for the man. They're all for the government. It's like, really? You fucking sold out.
Yeah.
You fucking sold out, you pricks.
Yep. Well, yeah, so now we got the guys who are the kids of the hippies who are starting to push the socialist agenda, but now the commies, they don't give a shit. Like they really don't care, because they figure while they're in charge, they'll do whatever they want, and when they're not in charge, they'll just, they'll scream racism or whatever the hell racism, sexism, homophobic, istophobic, phobophobe.
Those were the istophobe words mean nothing now because they've overused them. That's the thing.
You know what, Linda? You're exactly right. America created itself a class system of degenerates, and that is true. That is so true. Yeah, you're right too, Bass. The commies got into the universities, and that was something that the Ruskies did. That was something that they were behind, getting the commies actually into the university.
It wasn't Velikovsky. It was what was the Russian guy that talked
Yuri
about
Bezmenov.
Yeah.
Yuri Bezmenov. Yeah.
Bezmenov. Yeah. He, he said it best. Like, when he said, this is how you do it. You break up the family, you break up this, and then you infiltrate. And like fucking.
Yep.
And then for one day, for no reason at all, they elected somebody that would change everything. Like, it's just.
Yeah, they just got worse and worse. And when the Democrats realized that they could violate their own laws and get away with it because no one was going to stop them. Oh, that's when their inner Stalin came out.
Oh yeah,
they just went nuts. I mean, and the whole thing was the test was COVID. They literally, like, city council, they made laws up out of thin air. They just made laws up.
Do you know why I didn't go along with the mandates? Because I don't date men. So
there you go. Dig it. Yeah, but they just and they did it out of fear. I think they did it out of fear. Like, think about it. Most blue states, blue cities, whatever, right? they're all shitholes, right? Because progressive policies always create shitholes, right? And excessive crime, excessive drug abuse, alcohol abuse, all that bullshit. So what happened is they know that their people are suffering. They don't give a shit because they're making money, right? The grift, the pay, the prestige, being in government, all that bullshit. So when Black Lives Matter came out and said, burn it all down, they feared the city councils and the mayors. They feared that they were going to turn on them. Like, hey, we created this shithole. Ooh, what are we going to do? And so it was like a symbiote. They didn't even have to like have a Zoom meeting on it and say, here's what we do. They just all knew. Oh, we just go with them. We just say, yeah, man, I agree. It's fucking systemic racism. No, it was actually your fucking dumbass progressive policies that caused their shithole. It was America. No, it actually wasn't America that caused you all these problems. It was the Democratic Party that caused you all these problems in your fucking city, and you're just too fucking stupid to stop voting for them. You can't cry oppression, if you keep voting for it, and they keep voting for it. So what happened was they just said, yeah, we're going to defund the police. Any idea that came along, that was crazy, but they were demanding it. They were, yeah, we'll do it. So they defund the police in a lot of cities, and then a year later, crime is so rampant. So many cops left the force because they weren't getting backed by their leadership, right? And so they just freaking destroyed cities because they were fearful, because they were cowards.
I just literally can't wait until the people that just wanted to be left alone get involved.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you would probably be arrested for that thought. Yeah, you
I would be.
I know.
I would
Guys,
be.
We got shit on the horizon here. Like, think about this. Ready? So 24,000 military-age Chinese men have come over our border since Biden got into office. I think it was 13,000 of them alone since October. Okay? What do you think they're doing here? Why do you think they're here?
Okay, I'm gonna play a little soundbite for you.
Yeah. There you go. There you go.
Now, anybody hears that shit?
Yeah, I know. But here's the thing. Okay? I did a little research on this. In order to get on a plane to come to the United States from China, you have to get the government to approve it. The government over there, you think our bureaucracy is bad? Holy crap. So it could take a year, right? So you got to get it approved, and it cost about $6,000 for them. So where's a 22-year-old Chinese kid going to get $6,000 or more than that, because he's got to live when he's here, right? And get that permission.
Because they're buying all the land up here and fucking everything. Like
they want to colonize. They want to colonize the United States. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, right? Did you hear about they started creating Chinese police stations in the United States? Yes, they did. In New York and California, they have Chinese police stations. They'll just they'll rent, Aaron's Walk House, and they take the sign down, they put a couple filing cabinets in, they call it, they have a back room with the rubber chicken to beat them on the head, right? So what they do is they go around and they find Chinese Americans who emigrated here. And these are people who actually want to be Americans. They didn't want to be in China anymore, the fucking commies. So they flew here, they made their way here, they went for citizenship. They're good people, right? But then come these police stations that come in. And what they do is they send agents out to find these people that left China, and they arrest them illegally, right? They arrest them, they bring them back to the Aaron's Walk House, right? And they tell them, they go, look, here's what we want you to do. We understand that you work for AT&T. And so what we want you to do is we want you to get us the diagrams of their Wi-Fi towers and whatnot, and so that we're going to be able to take them down. And the guy goes, fuck you. I'm an American now. I'm not doing that. Oh, really? Come here. I have a laptop here. Let me open this up. Do you see that there? That's your grandmother. That's your cousin. There goes a couple of kids, cousins. See those guns that are pointed at their heads? Well, they're going to die if you say you're not going to do it. And we're going to keep them until you do it. They were doing this shit in the United States, guys. They were doing it. And why do you think they were doing that? because it coincides with the 24,000. It's probably double that now, but it coincides with the 24,000 military-age Chinese men that came over the border because they're plotting something. So remember when AT&T and the other companies, they had that blackout not long ago? Remember that? Well, what's to say that they weren't able because the cell towers, those guys, like they were always like proud that you can't break this encryption. There's no way, no how. It's a big thing, right? Well, they broke it. How? Because they had some Chinese dissident who became an American citizen that they arrested in the United States, New York, pulled him into Aaron's Walk House and said, look, there's your family. So now you do it. And he did it. Okay. We had the ship that hit the Baltimore Bridge, right? And Francis Scott Key Bridge. How do we know that they didn't have them come in and grab a guy and say, look, you work on this company that does, radio waves, whatever it is, the computers on the ship. I want you to be able to break into it.
That was totally planned. Like, there's no way. Like, I saw guys like shipwrights, like ship guys that fucking then go, yeah, no, we have redundant systems to prevent any of this shit from happening.
Lou works in that.
And they like fucking aim right for that pillar.
You're breaking up again, bro.
I'm breaking up.
Yeah, you're.
I'm roboting. I'm sorry. I need
You sound like that doctor in the wheelchair. That's what you sound like.
It's bad up there, man. Fucking.
Yep. Yeah. So what they're doing is they're setting us up.
No Canadian prime minister.
Yeah, you're really. You sound like metal. You're breaking up really bad.
Okay, sorry.
No, I just heard that fine. So whatever position you're in, don't move.
I'm just saying, like, no Canadian prime minister has ever been assassinated.
Really?
Really? Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's not like Ronald Reagan, like, when he was giving his speech and, like, there's a gunshot went off and he's like, nah, you missed me.
Yeah.
Because he was assassinated, well, attempted assassinated twice.
Hinckley.
Yeah.
Hinckley. But did you hear what he said? Nancy came up and was talking. And he goes, I guess I forgot to duck. And then when they were about to put him under for the surgery, he put his hand up to block it, and he looked up at the doctor and he goes, I hope you're a good Republican. Like the whole room cracked up laughing. Like he had a sense of humor. Like even when he was shot.
Reagan was funny. I like Reagan. Like, many people don't, but I liked him. Like, he was good.
Spanish chicken, you're right. Down in Brazil, which is like the breadbasket of the world with food, the Chinese built ports down there. And they were supposed to be ports to let the ships come in, but then they started noticing that they had military aspects, right? And they cut a deal. They were part of that BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. I don't know where they came in on the BRICS, and then there was one other. They were getting together and they were going to try to kill the U.S. as the world reserve currency, and let's call it so. They're going to control the food there. They also bought. Yeah, Lou just pointed out 350,000 acres of farmland, and you know who owns almost as much, maybe more, as Bill Gates.
Bill Gates.
Yeah, why would Microsoft guy, vaccine guy, want to buy farmland like that?
Yeah.
Yes, Reagan was an actor, and he was one of the greatest presidents we ever had as well. Reagan was the Antichrist. Yeah, they all tried to call him that. Yeah, it's just up until that point, he had an even bigger economic boom than JFK had. Do you guys know JFK had one of the biggest economic booms of American history? Do you know why? Because he cut taxes. He gave a speech about it. And the Congress did not like that. They thought that they were supposed to get more money, so they would raise taxes. It's counterintuitive. When you lower taxes, what happens is like think about it, I always explain it this way. So when that Democratic Party prank known as President Jimmy Carter, when he had those 12% interest rates and all that, and I mean it was crazy, right? So what happened is the rich guys, they said, you know what? At the tax rate you got, it's like 78%, right? So you mean that I'm going to be able to keep 22% of every dollar, 22 cents out of every, go fuck yourself. And so they put the money into what the Kennedys always use, which is those tax-free muni bonds, things like that, right? So what happened was Reagan comes along and see, because let me go back, because the rich didn't invest in anything because of that high tax rate. That's when he had the malaise. That's why the Carter years were abysmal, right? So all of a sudden Reagan comes along and he goes, well, we got a different way. And so what he does is he lowers the rate from like 78% to 28%, right? And an economic boom happened because people said, whoa. Now I only have to give 28 cents to the government. I get to keep the rest. So they released all their money from the tax-free shit and they invested. So when they invested, they created all these new businesses, or they enhanced and expanded their current ones. And what happens when you build a business, the building and all that, you got to hire people, right? So people got jobs. More people that got jobs paid taxes. So the government revenues went up. Now they said, well, Ronald Reagan outspent all that money. Well, no, his deficit, he caused deficits. No, the deficit, a deficit is when you spend more money than you're bringing in.
Yeah.
And the records show, IRS records show that during the Reagan years, the revenues went up. When he started, it was at $550 billion a year, the revenues. When he was done after 8 years, it was $1.3 trillion, the revenues. Okay. So they can't argue that they didn't go up. But every fucking year, the Democrats who controlled the Congress all throughout the Reagan years, they outspent the money that his revenues rising brought in. And so they created the deficits. People always say, tax cuts cause deficits. And I'm like, okay, so here we go. Here's a great little example. Okay. So you got a box, right? You take $1, you put the dollar in the box and you close the lid. Now you got $1 in a box, right? You got a guy that comes along and says, hey, I'm selling ice cream. Well, how much? Oh, it's $1. Ah, you pull the dollar out, you hand it to the guy, he gives you the ice cream, you're happy. All right. Now, if you don't put $1 in the box, you never did. The box is empty, but you're standing there like a lug, holding the box. And this guy comes down and goes, ice cream, how much? It's $1. I don't have $1. Did you just cause a deficit? No, because you didn't buy anything. You didn't buy shit because you didn't have anything to buy anything, right? When Democrats tell you, or rhinos, same thing, when they tell you that tax cuts, they're just for the rich, and all that bullshit that they throw at you, what they're really saying is, we want to outspend ourselves every fucking year, and we're going to do it. And your stupid little tax cuts are not going to allow us to do that because they're ignorant, because they don't understand tax cuts make government revenues rise. What's up, Tessa?
Sorry, I got to go, guys. I got to go pick up my buddy. So, yeah, I got to run. I'm sorry.
All right. Good to see you.
Good to see you, brother. Always good to be on stream. Love everybody here in chat. You guys are all wonderful.
They're always pretty good.
And
hey, we're up to 17 again.
I will see you soon.
All right, brother. Have a good one. Have fun. Wow, we're at over 2.5 hours. Last week we went to 5 hours. Damn. Yeah, government doesn't deserve any money they wasted. You're right. What I would like to see someone propose is that the members of Congress, fuck everybody else, just go after the guys in Congress because they're the ones that cause all the problems, right? In the first place. So tell the Congress that your salary will now be the medium age or the medium salary, not even the average, right? The median of all salaries in the United States. How much you want to bet they would then start putting in policies or removing policies that screw the privatization of business? so that people's salaries rise, so their salaries rise. I mean, that would happen. Except no one's ever gonna go for that. But yeah, they all make their money. You guys know about how they exempted themselves from the insider trading bullshit, right? For years, they are crooks. For years, what happened is what happened was you had insider trading laws, right? And so the Democrats in Congress create, like, you have the SEC, and the SEC says, okay, you want to put an IPO up? Well, what you got to do is you got to prove that you're a company. You got to prove that you're a company that can make money. If you want to get on the stock market and all that, right? So you got to go through all this. We're going to do this. We're going to take over a year and yada, yada, yada. And so the Democrats said, hey, we could really grift off this shit. So they created committees that all, like, any company that wants to go public, they would have to turn over all the SEC documents over to them, and they'd have to go over it with a fine-tooth comb. And guess what they did? They hired these guys that knew what they were doing. They said, here, take a look at this shit and tell us what to buy and what not to buy. And that's what they did, and that's how they made a shitload of money. But then we just found out that's how Nancy Pelosi went with what was it, 160,000 when she started, and she's like got 120 million now. How the hell do you do that working just in the government, right? Well, then we find out recently that for like the last 10 years or so, Larry Fink from BlackRock was sending them reports each month. And the reports were like, if you want to make money in the stock market, what you do is there's ways you can do it too, because it's free. If an officer of a company, like a CEO, okay, if he buys a shit ton of his own company's stock, it means that he knows something that's going to make that stock soar. Like, they're coming out with a product or a service. They're coming out with something. They're going to do a merger, something that's going to make it rise, because otherwise, why is he going to buy a shitload of stock at one time? And this happens all the time, right? Or if he drops a lot of it, right? So what happens is they have these reports that if an officer of a company is going to buy stock in his own company, they have to report that. And there's people that know where those reports are. You know, you can get it if you know where it is. And what they do is they go and they read them, and they say, ooh, this guy. And then they start to do, that's how they find stocks to pick. And then they do their usual due diligence on the company, and they know what to buy, what to sell, whatever. I don't know half that shit, but you know, I was reading that's how they're doing it. So Larry Fink was actually giving them the information. And that's how they were making their millions that way. I mean, guys, come on. They create problems, especially the bunch now. They create problems for working people in this country, but they're happy with violating their own laws. You know, there's a reason why there's insider trading laws, but they exempted themselves from them. Yeah, from the jab. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to say it. I don't think Biden ever got the jab. I think he got the saline. I think he did. I don't think he got the jab. I know. You know, call me a flat earther or something, but I just don't think he did. Let me see. You go after Trump for a non-crime. No one lost money. You're right. Normal business practices. We should find out how these Democrats and rhinos become millionaires while serving in Congress. Yeah, well, that's one of the ways that they do. Yeah, her stock tips, Pelosi stock tips. Yeah, like, she doesn't know her ass from the hole in the ground. But see, Pelosi spent years and billions of our dollars too, making a lot of money. Her husband bought a building in San Francisco downtown, and the building was just, you know, it was a regular office building, right? Well, she used her power in the yeah, he got the jab. Yeah, well, he got a lot of jabs that he paid for. She used her influence and her power as Speaker of the House to get a train stop right outside the office building. Now, do you know how much money that made the building skyrocket? Because now you can just get right off the train. So you could hire people not from your immediate area. They could come in on the train and come in that way and drop off right at your building, right? And so then they sold it for like a handsome profit, you know. But she spent a lot of taxpayer dollars setting that all up, because, you know, it's got to go through whatever committees to buy something like that if it was a government project, you know. But I mean, these people, they're just despicable as hell. making shit tons of money, and we have to scratch everything we can. Yep, war machine will be the death of humanity. Well, that and the communists. Yeah, they certainly will be. Let's see, other kind of acts. Yeah. Let me see what else is out there. Gay couple arrested for possession of child pornography after getting flagged by IKEA. Maryland police. How does IKEA? Oh, I got to see that one. Okay, hang on. Oh, we got to do that one. Let's see. What the hell? What are they into now? Okay, let's get rid of that. So let's see. Oh, there they are. All right. Handsome devils, right? Neighbors of the gay couple in Maryland were shocked to find out that they were arrested for possession of child pornography after getting flagged by IKEA. Do they mean IKEA like the store, or is that like an acronym? 41-year-old Robert Shearer and 54-year-old Robert Brooks were arrested Wednesday after police were tipped off about Shearer allegedly downloading child pornography on his work computer. He worked as a senior resolutions generalist. What the hell is that? At IKEA in White Marsh. Where? In Maryland. Okay. The company, which is based in Sweden, notified Swedish police about, I'm going to do that Latino thing, right? The Sweden police about the alarming discovery after confirming the accusation. Police notified their counterparts in Maryland, who began investigating the couple in March. Kid fuckers. Okay. After an investigation by the Maryland Computer Crimes Unit, they have a computer crime. Okay. The couple's home on North Calvert Street, boy, they just doxed them, was searched. The police said they found more child pornography on several devices. Guys, that kind of shit just makes me angry as fuck. And the reason why is because you have degenerates out there, right? That are doing shit like this, and nothing will happen to them. Nothing. There's nothing. I remember, who, what is his name? Krugman. What's his first name? He's the economist guy, Krugman. And Paul Krugman, that's his name, right? He won the Nobel Prize in economics. God knows why, because he's a moron's moron, right? And I'll never forget. He's like wrong about everything, right? He was wrong about Trump. He said that Trump would cause a recession right away, possibly a depression if he got in. It was the exact opposite, right? And he was wrong about a lot of things. Well, it turns out that I remember a few years back, he posts on Twitter. What a moron. He posts on Twitter. He says, somebody hacked my PC at home and started downloading child porn. And everybody was like making these speculations like, oh, so his wife caught him with kiddie porn. And so he threw like a fit saying, oh, somebody hacked our PC, right? And then it was like an hour later, he goes, because he was writing for the New York Times, right? And he goes, not to worry, the New York Times computer unit is on the job or some shit like that. And I never heard a story that he was arrested or like FBI or anybody went after him, right? But he fucking admitted on Twitter that there was child porn on his computer. Like if you want to like prove to your wife that it really wasn't you, right? Doing that crazy shit. I mean, you don't put it on Twitter, for God's sakes. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true too. Gonna drop at 9? What does that mean? What time is it? Oh, okay. All right, cool, man. Thanks for stopping in, Lou. That's cool. Yeah, what's called? So I think it was like he just chimed in about something political like 3 weeks ago, and everybody's like, hey, did the New York Times ever figure out who the guy was that was putting the porn on your computer? It's like he'll never live it down. This guy got a Nobel Prize for economics. It's like, what the hell are you thinking? Unreal. Yes, sir. What else is up there? Japan, Philippines push Biden to challenge Chinese colonialism. Yeah, because they're trying to do it here. They're trying to colonize the United States. That's what they want to do anyway. Yeah, Trump is pissed about Johnson with this FISA thing. I don't know, man. I just have a disagreement with it. They still have. Well, then again, yeah. If they're not going to follow the rules for unmasking, then yeah, you know, you should have something there. But I just don't know who got to them. Well, you know, didn't Lincoln say that? That because of our situation with an ocean on either side, that the only way we could be taken down is from within. Didn't he say that? I think it was Lincoln who said something like that. Yeah, it would have to be internally. No, China already bought us. You know, they already did. Look what the markets that they create, the way they do it. They had solar panels, right? They created a solar panel market all throughout Europe, right? So then all the European companies that make the parts for solar panels, they wanted to get in. So they said, okay, you know, we'll hire you guys, you know, use you for the parts, but you got to give us all your intellectual property. We got to what? All the blueprints, the software, everything you do to create these, you got to give them to us. Well, we can't do that. Well, then you're not going to get in the market that we created, that we really pretty much control 80% of the market. So you're out. That's what they were doing. Shit like that. That's how they stole a lot of technology. They don't own all the farms. It's like 350,000 acres, right? I mean, America's bigger than that, but yeah, they were buying up a lot of it. And it's like, why would you allow an enemy of the United States to buy farmland? You know, and how much of that farmland, those farmland purchases, was Hunter Biden involved in? You know, how did he act as the go-between lawyer for that? You know, you have to wonder that too. The grifter son in chief. Let's see, what else is there? Lots of news. Thus, the child labor laws for mining shit for solar. Yeah, yeah. Well, China, man, their land is unsustainable, and they know it. That's why they're talking about they want to take Australia, United States, and Canada, and they want to they want to colonize them. They want to start in the United States first, which is kind of weird, but they believe they can do it. And think about it: 24,000 military-age men come into the country since Biden's been there, and 13,000 since October alone. And what could they do? They could literally have weapons flown into them, right? And how come they couldn't militarily take over a state like California, right? Or how could they, you know, not, you know, take over Oregon, you know, Washington State? It's like what is it, Man in the High Tower? You know, how could you not see a scenario like that except with the Chinese instead of the Japanese on the Pacific coast, right? They could do it. I mean, they'd probably get their heads blown off, but then again, California, I don't know the gun laws in California. I don't know what they're like. But I know we have 300 million guns, over 300 million guns in America, so it would be hard for them to take us over. Yeah. Well, yeah, they stopped that because they realized that it was stupid to have the one child policy. But Linda, people were having more than one child. What they would do is they would leave the country, have the baby, and then bring them back in. They were allowed to do that, believe it or not, because I know people that did, and they weren't Chinese; they were Americans living over there, and they did that, and they didn't get fined or anything. But now they're realizing, yeah, that was pretty bad, so it's really fucking us up. So now they're asking women to have, what is it, 3 kids a piece? Yeah, yeah, it is. It is good. It's on Prime. It's like a Prime original. I read the book too, but it's a Prime original. You should watch it if you have Prime. All right, brother. Talk to you later, man. Good seeing you. When the War Began is a good novel. Oh, okay, cool. I have to check that out. Yeah, I read like 3 books a month. Yeah. Ladderloo. Yeah, Man in the High Tower is one of those alternate history where what if we lost, the Nazis won, like the Axis powers won, and so one half of the country on the East Coast is the Nazis, the Germany, and then there's a no man's land. I think they call it the common land, but it was a no man's land in the middle, and then on the West Coast is the Japanese. And the story goes that there's a man in a high tower, and he has all these films that he can show people, and the films are of an alternate history where we won. Shabbat shalom, oi, and what's it called? So this guy, he sends the films out to certain people that are going to create a movement to get rid of the Japanese and the Nazis. Japanese first because they're weaker than the Nazis because they don't have as many states. But the story is really good, Bass. You should look it up. Naomi Wolf became aware of the party. She served. Yeah, she was a feminist. I don't think she was ever a feminazi, but she was a feminist for a lot of years. But when she wrote her feminism, she was more of an equity feminist, which is who was the other one? I used to love her, and I haven't read her shit in years. But there was another one that was an equity feminist. Equity feminists are saying, look, if I do the same job as a guy, I should get paid the same wage. That I agree with. Right? I mean, I agree with that shit. But she was an equity feminist, but she was lumped in with feminists, so everybody thought she was a nut. She's really not. And then when the whole trans thing came out and all that, now she's like you could consider her like a conservative now. Naomi Wolf, can you imagine that? Young adult novel, but it's Australia getting invaded. Oh, wow. Okay. I see. What the hell is it called? Tomorrow When the War Began. Okay. I'm look that up right now. Let's see. Tomorrow When the War Began. Ew. There it is. Tomorrow When the War Began. By John Marsden. Let's see. When Ellie and 6 of her friends return home from a camping trip deep in the bush, they find things hideously wrong. Their family's gone. Oh, wow. That does sound good. What year was that? What year did it come out? Book tomorrow. 1995. Oh, I have to look for that one. Cool. Thanks, Linda. Yeah, I'll check that out. I like good stories like that. Oh, she talks about chemtrails? I didn't see that one. Yeah, but she did speak truth to power over the COVID stuff and over the trans movement. She really did. Yeah, she's not a nut. She's not a feminazi, as Rush would call them. Yeah, but that whole movement was fake anyway. I mean, they all men are evil. All sex, even in a marriage, even in a good marriage, is rape. All that bullshit. And they had the poster child of a serial sexual predator, Bill Clinton, in office. They never complained once about him, never once, because he supported all the bullshit that they went through. Responded to somebody. Yeah, cool. Let me see. What else is there? Put that out. Let me see. There's a movie. Oh, cool. Wait a minute. She's pissed now because the liberals, she believe that especially these people are on the wrong side. Yeah, they are on the wrong side. It's because they they wanted power too much, and so they gave in where they saw the power. It's like, think about the Democratic Party. You know, they were the party of slavery in the United States, right? And then when they realized civil rights came, right, they had to get their votes because they were able to vote. So now they exploited them for what, 50 years. They exploited the black vote, and then the Hispanic population started growing, and they went and moved over to them to exploit them, right? And now they dropped them both because they went to the trans movement, right? It's anybody they can exploit politically is who is their friend at the moment. But they're starting to realize now, don't think, like, a lot of blacks are voting for Trump, but don't think that he's going to get like even 30% of the vote. He's not. And like people in Chicago right now, I was listening to Sonny Johnson last week, and sometimes she enrages me, but she's very intelligent and she's good. She's on Sirius XM on Saturdays, between 1 and 3. And she had said, she goes, look, she goes, yeah, the people in Chicago are going to vote Trump. She goes, but it's not because they're in love with the Republicans. She said it's because they're trying to send a message to the Democrats that, you know, you have abused us for decades. You know, you made promises that you never came through on. You know, that's what the message is. And then she came back and said, so then why don't the Republicans reach out to them right now and say, hey, we've got a place for you. This is what we want, and we're sure you want it too. And she's right. She's absolutely right about that. And I remember Ronald Reagan said that black people in America are really conservative. They just don't know it yet. And they were. They believed in God. They believed in family. They believed in hard work, right? And which is what conservatives wanted. It's just that they had Democrats there lying to them all the time, saying all those conservatives that believe in God and believe in family and believe in hard work, they hate you. You know, and they fell for it. A lot of them did. But I think those days are starting to end because, and you know what it was? It was Trump, guys. It was fucking Trump. Because Trump comes along, it's like he tells the country, hold my beer. You know, even though he doesn't drink, you know, hold my beer. I'll be right back. You know, and he goes and makes America great again. And he made it look so goddamn easy. You know, he did all the things that in the past rhinos and Democrats said that they would want to do, but we just can't get it done, you know, because that guy or this guy. He comes in and does it, you know, and he made it look easy, right? That's why they hate him so much. But black people are remembering, and Hispanic voters, they're remembering, hey, when Trump was in, I was doing pretty good. Now, I wasn't rich, but I was making my bills. You know, if I wanted a job, it was out there. We had more jobs than people to fill them. And now this bullshit, you know, Biden just got caught with the 302,000 jobs in March. They like 99%, no shit, went to foreign workers, including some illegals. You know, they went to foreign workers. Can you believe that shit? Yeah. And they were mostly part-time jobs. They used to never count a part-time job as a job. You know, they didn't, because it isn't, you know. So now people are working 3 part-time jobs in order to make ends meet, but it's mostly foreign born. So a lot of them are nationals. They're here legally, but they're getting the jobs. So what does that do? Those kinds of jobs were usually in the black community and the Hispanic community, and they're not getting shit. They're saying that they really screwed them over, you know, this administration. And then they wonder, well, why don't they love us anymore? You know, you can only beat people down so long. Let me see if I got that. Let's see. RPW Media. Yeah, you guys should check out the news site. We do have some good stuff. Let's see. Fannie Willis, corrupt judge. March jobs report. Yeah, here you go. I got to read this. This is great. Steve wrote this one. There it is. And we share. The March jobs report is very good unless you are an American. Now look at this, right? So management, professional, related. All right. So this is native-born workers, right? And this is foreign-born workers. Okay. And look at this. All these jobs that not millionaires, but, you know, regular people are working. right? So the management professionals are mostly native-born workers. And when they say, well, foreign-born, they mean if you're here from another country, but you're a citizen, you're considered native-born. I learned that a long time ago. So he says the Biden administration is playing up the fact they had 300,000 jobs, 302 were created, but they did not reveal the underlying facts. Most of those jobs went to legal and illegal immigrants. And on top of that, the majority of the jobs are part-time. I've always said that every jobs report should have a lost jobs be subtracted from the number. That is so friggin' true. They say, we have 15 million jobs, right? Yeah. Well, anybody, if he did nothing, he would have had more than 15 million jobs because Trump set him up so that the recovery from COVID was going to be a boom economically, right? So he said, we had 15 million jobs. Yeah, well, asshole, you shut down 22 million, you Democrats in your states, right? So what are you, 8 million behind? Is my Catholic school math right? No, 9. Wait a minute. 13, 22. Yeah, well, whatever. So, I mean, they're in a deficit in millions of jobs, right? But they're bragging, we created 15 million. Okay, asshole. What about the 8 million or so that are still not working? If plumbing company A goes bankrupt, laying off 24 workers, and plumbing company B hires those 24, it is the same number of jobs. But under the present accounting, Biden claims 24 jobs were created. That's true. And you know what? What's his name? What Barack Obama did was he in his unemployment. What happened was the word went around when he was running for reelection. The word went around that no president was reelected with unemployment above 5%. At the time, I think his unemployment was 8%, and he didn't have COVID, right? So they said it was anything over 8% or higher, no president ever got reelected. So magically, 3 months before the election, it went down to 7.2%. But the way he did that was he added the U6 to it. The U6 is out of that. That's the tables that they use for people that are unemployed. The U6 was people who were unemployed for 2 years or more, right? And they're usually not. They're like, they probably stopped looking for work because they got benefits or something, But he added them to the unemployment list, or I'm sorry, he cut them off from the unemployment list totally, and so his numbers went up magically. If you get rid of the bad numbers, your numbers look a lot better. But he did that. So everything with Democrats is smoke and mirrors. Same thing with rhinos. I'm not giving any Republicans, a free ride. But, the conservatives, the true ones, like all 35 of them out of 535 people in D.C., they're the only ones that will give you straight up. CNBC reported job creation in March easily topped expectations and a sign of continued acceleration for what has been a bustling and resilient labor market. Non-farm payrolls increased 303,000 for the month, well above the Dow Jones estimate for a rise of 200,000 and higher than the downwardly revised 270,000 gain in February. The labor Bureau of Labor Statistics reported Friday. There's one big problem. Native-born Americans are being frozen out of the workforce. Foreign-born workers, including illegals, got the majority of the March jobs. So there you go. There you go. I think I did a video on this. Everything with Democrats is smoke and mirrors. I mean, everything. It's crazy. And yet let me see. I'm ashamed as a European that we always thought that the U.S. will always come to the rescue. Well, we usually did. But now they come to the rescue when it's political. Like Ukraine, guys, we had no strategic interest in helping Ukraine. None. It's the Democrats used Ukraine as a personal ATM for the last 20 years. There's a lot of corruption there, which means there's a lot of money to be made, right? So that's what they've been doing. And, the way we always did it was, if we wanted countries, this is how arrogant the United States was. And these were the Democrat years when they controlled everything. If we wanted countries to behave a certain way, we gave them a shit ton of money, right? And they did what we wanted because they wanted that money. It was like a dependency thing that we wanted to create for them. And then if they started doing something that we didn't like, we'd just say to them, we don't like you doing that. Don't do that anymore. And if they still did it, 6 months later, the Seventh Fleet would be off your shores. And that's how they did. That's how the Democrats played ball. They'd buy your loyalty and then threaten your ass when you got tired of it. You know, and that's what people should be ashamed of. That's what they did. And it worked for a while until they ran out of other people's money, as Margaret Thatcher always said. Loved Margaret Thatcher. Let's see what else is out there. Hobbs, Governor Hobbs. Jesus Christ. Arizona women will die under state abortion ban. How are they going to die? That's another thing, guys. When they say, they used to always say, the women will go back to having back alley abortions. Well, I have a stronger opinion of American women. That mean what they're saying is, well, you take away abortion and a woman's going to break the law. I mean, think about that. Are American women all going to break the law and have back alley abortions again? No, they're not going to do that. But it makes for a great fundraising letter for MoveOn.org. That's an inside joke, guys. Let me see. German Greer is probably a right-wing extremist now, too. Yeah, I heard about Jermaine Greer. Yeah. Wow, let's see. Also, we used to make Olympic participation contingent on certain Western guys. Yeah, I know. Well, the guys in the West are certainly allowing their culture to be destroyed. I mean, London used to be the white person factory, right? That's where you guys created white people in London, right? Wasn't that it? And now it's Londonistan, right? And you can thank Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. Remember when that so-called Arab Spring happened? And they allowed everybody to go from the Middle East up through Greece and then hit everybody else. And you guys were a bunch of bigots and racist and every other phobophobe if you didn't let them in, right? And now there's so many that the culture is being damaged and people are complaining, but they're the bigots, right? Which is now it's finally happening here, Yeah, thank the Tories for that too. But it's happening here now. We got, and the press tries to tame it down, because the Democrats are in charge while we have 10 million people floating in the country that we don't know, many of them on the terror watch list. There's like 300 they caught already, and they know there's more out there that they didn't catch yet. It's crazy, man, what they're doing. And you got to wonder why. Why are they trying to destroy Western culture? And I think it was one of the greatest cultures ever created, but what do I know? What's this? As an Aussie, I can say the pet name of septics did involve some condescension. I have no idea what you just said. I'm sorry. The pet name of septics did involve some condescension. Okay, what? I'm sorry. I don't know what you said. Let me see. Oh, man. Let's see. Yank equals septic tank. Oh, wow. Okay. Septic's a septic tank. That's what I thought you meant, but I was like, what the hell is she saying? Some condescension. Yeah. How many pages? 293. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That book has 7 books that you mentioned. Tomorrow When the War Began. Wow. Did you read them all, Linda? Or just the first one? Yeah, I know. But it's true. It's true. A lot of countries did, and I think, I don't know. The reason why we became so huge was because after the war, we were the only. Okay, after World War II, there were a lot of democracies that were created, and so people were like, "Yeah, I want that thing. You call it a washing machine? What the hell is that?" Right? And automobiles and all that, right? So the United States, a lot of libtards. This is how I got into this and studying this. A lot of libtards said, "Well, taxes were at like 90% for the upper class during the Eisenhower years," and it's like, so you could have high taxes. Everything was great back then. Well, everything was great back then, but it wasn't because of those high taxes, because nobody paid those high taxes. There were so many loopholes. Nobody ever paid 70 and above. Nobody did, right? But the reason why we did so well was because of the war effort. When FDR got all the manufacturing companies to switch over to doing for the war effort, well, after years of doing it, they made their machinery better. They just improved everything. And so when the war ended, we were the only country that could handle the world's needs. We could make all those refrigerators and sewing machines and everything that the world wanted that they didn't know they could get until after the war. And so that's what made the big boom, because we were building everything for the world. There's a bridge that goes over into New Jersey, and it's what the hell is the town? Hamilton. I think it's Hamilton. I think it says Hamilton makes, the world takes, because they were manufacturers there. Was it Hamilton or Trenton? That's it. It was Trenton. Trenton makes, the world takes, and it wasn't a bust. It was just saying we manufacture a lot of shit here for the world, and that was after the war. They put that up on the bridge. So yeah, so we became super rich because of that. Well, plus the way our laws were before our politicians started saying, "Fuck you, I'm not going to abide by it." It truly was the land of the gold. I mean, you could come here, and if you worked hard and you had, as a matter of fact, even today, guys, even today, I'm sure you heard this before, but even today, there's like 3 things that you do that you can guarantee you will not end up poor in the United States. The first is to finish school, high school. Just finish. Don't drop out. Finish high school. The next one is to get a job and to stick with that job. And I'm not talking about a hamburger flipper job, although if you want to do that and move into management and whatnot, okay. So you finish school, you get a job, and you stick with that job. Because if you get a job and say it was $10 an hour, and now you're there for a couple of years, you're making $16 an hour, then you go, "Fuck it, I don't like this job." So you go to another job, you're back at $10 an hour. So it's stick to the job, work your way up until you can make a lateral move, yada, yada. And the third is get married. Yeah, get married. So what did the liberals fuck with? Marriage, right? Right? They created a welfare system in this country to allow mothers to not need a man. In fact, they made it so that if there was a man in the situation, they didn't get benefits anymore. They literally wrote that in. And so why? But they did. And because they wanted to have Uncle Sam replace the father in the home. It's a good way to get people to vote for you. You want I mean, think about it. If you're a married couple and you're working for a living and you want to have another kid, you go to the kitchen table, you put the paperwork out, and you go, "Can we afford it?" Right? And when in those days, though, when you were on public assistance, you would say, "Oh shit, I got another kid," and the government, "Okay, we'll give you more money because we can't let that kid go hungry." Right? There's a disconnect there, but that's what they did for years. And Patrick Daniel Moynihan was the godfather of the modern welfare state, and he said it. I think he was on David Letterman one night when he said it. "Yeah, we really messed that up, didn't we?" That was his mea culpa. "Yeah, we really messed that one up, didn't we?" Yeah, the baby boom. I'm a boomer. Boomer. Yeah, I'm the last year of the boomers. 64. Yeah. Yeah. Boom time. Let's see. Anything else? Let me do one more. Here's what you want to know about hush money. Fuck you. McCarthy blames ouster on lawmaker who wanted to stop ethics complaint that he slept with a 17-year-old. Are they saying Matt Gaetz? Hold on. Let's see who. Yeah, they're talking about Matt Gaetz. Let's do this, because I don't want to be accused of not reading something that goes against the Republicans. It says McCarthy blames ouster on lawmaker who wanted to stop an ethics complaint that he slept with a 17-year-old girl. McCarthy said he was removed from his position after a lawmaker facing an ethics complaint pushed him to influence the investigation. Former McCarthy just wasn't right anyway. Says he was ousted as Speaker of the House by a member of Congress who wanted me to stop an ethics complaint because he slept with a 17-year-old. That wasn't proven yet. McCarthy's removal from the chamber came after Matt Gaetz from Florida, who is the subject of a House ethics probe for alleged sexual misconduct, filed a motion to vacate in 2023. Now, Matt Gaetz was pretty headstrong on that, right? And it did not make sense to me because they didn't really have a plan, did they? They're going to get rid of McCarthy, but what was the plan? Right? Who are they going to put in there? You know, they didn't know. They just wanted to get rid of him. And now McCarthy, he did. Here's the thing, though. So Matt Gaetz was hard on McCarthy in the beginning of all that, right? Remember, he was the one that kept saying, no, we're not going to vote you in. You got to sign this agreement, this agreement, this agreement, this agreement. He had to agree to do all these things before they let him in, right? I never saw that done before, not even by the Democrats. But so for them to now say that he was ousted because of an ethics complaint, Matt Gaetz finally acquiesced and he allowed him to take the position. So how are they coming out and saying this now? I think he just has sour grapes, because if you remember, he resigned. He said he was leaving. He's not running again, because he got thrown out and he looked like an idiot. An ethics complaint that started before I ever became Speaker, and that's illegal. Yeah, well, you know what else is illegal, asshole? Taking FTX money, and taking the FTX money, right? Because ill-gotten gains, no one's going to question him about that, right? Or the Democrats that took the money. But he took FTX money, and he used it to fund Rhino's campaigns to try to take out Trump's America First candidates. That's what he did. And I would say, over nothing else, he should have been thrown out for that. And you know what the whole Matt Gaetz thing was, too? Because Matt Gaetz proved it. The whole thing was, there were these people that they were going after his father. His father apparently has a lot of money, and they were going after the father for money. And so they said, we will ruin your son's career if you don't give us the money. And the father told the son, he said, they can't ruin my career. I'll get reelected. Don't worry about it. And that's what they did. They went in and tried to do it. So here Gaetz says, Kevin is a liar, which actually is why he isn't Speaker. There you go. He said, just ask any of the 224 people who voted to remove him. Yeah, and it's because he agreed to do certain things and he didn't do them. And they gave him like almost a year to do those things that were very simple, and he didn't do them. So it's on him. Let me get rid of that. Let's see. I'm the youngest in a boomer family, totally different parents. So my friends who are the eldest kids. Oh, yeah, I can imagine that. Well, all right, guys, it's been 3.5 hours. If you can hit the like button, if you haven't already, I'd really appreciate it. It helps with the algorithm. I appreciate you guys coming here every single week. I really do. And I want to build it up so that we have a boatload of people that start coming in. So thank you so much. Please go to rpwmedia.com, read our stories. It's free. Just read them. We're usually a couple days ahead of the curve with other news sites. Yeah. I appreciate you all being here. You guys have a good weekend. I'm going to the Trump rally. I'm probably going to, it's tomorrow. I'm probably going to live stream some of it if I can figure out how to do it on my mobile. If not, I'll just film it and then post it. Hey, what's up, Gina? How you doing? Thanks, man. Thanks, Bass. Appreciate it. What's that? Sorry, I got Ollie busy. Nah, don't worry about it, Vamps. You're good. Yeah, you're like a regular here, brother. Don't worry about it. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna get off now. So I'll talk to you guys. Have a good one. I'll let you know how the rally was. I'll see you. Have a good one. Bye.